Miami 3 years ago. It's a similar scene, Dia. We've got the red and gold confetti all over the place, mixing a little bit of white. You have Chiefs players kind of walking around, wandering around, not knowing what to do, because this is the ultimate feeling in their sport.
And this was a classic Super Bowl matchup. I mean, I don't think it's ever gone down to the wire like this before. Me and Mick were standing in the tunnel, and we're waiting, and then the clock's winding down, and you're like, McKinnon, get a knee, down the ball.
So many plays, and we saw it in the Miami Super Bowl. We're going to send it to Nick Bolton here live inside the stadium.
Even just being a part of them, man, is special, man, and just thank God for that. Thank you.
Last one here. Hey, Bolton, what was the message halftime going in? What was that message like in the locker room to get you guys turned around to pull this victory out?
Yeah, man, essentially just be us, but be us a little bit better. We left a couple plays out there we could have made, and end up in explosive plays or touchdowns. So we just had to come back, tackle a little bit better, and also just bat a couple balls down, contest a couple more catches, and that kind of going to lead us into a win. And so that's kind of the mindset was for us, and we're able to execute that in the second half.
So do you guys do
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back out here. There's Nick Bolton. What a big game, right?
Oh, my gosh.
He had the scoop and score, so many tackles, so much physical play there as well. As Kadarius Toney, what a big punt return. He had so many heroes that you thought would be, and then some guys you didn't think. Sky Moore with a huge touchdown catch.
Absolutely, and this was a game you really couldn't take your eyes off of, because the minute you turned away, there was another big play, that huge return late in the game to get the Chiefs back up on top. I mean, just a classic matchup. There are players walking around, so if you're watching at home, we're going to try to grab some folks here as we can and bring them to you live during all this celebration.
D is a professional at going and grabbing guys and saying, hey, you're going to be on TV now.
That's what I do. But I will tell you, y'all, Chiefs fans are lining these end zones, just congratulating players. It's a family affair.
Let's see if we can get, it's Creed right there. We'll
see
try to
Creed Humphrey there talking. Orlando.
We're going to try to get some guests out here. We'll send it back to Kansas City for now, and hopefully have you a Chiefs player here shortly.
Hey, I definitely can relate. We're in that situation just 3 years ago. It is fun, it is hectic, and people are flying from microphone to microphone doing those interviews. So we'll let you do what you guys do best, Dia and Mick. And you see they're doing what they do best in power and light, rocking to the wee hours right now, because the Chiefs are your Super Bowl champions.
All right, let's go back to Mick. Mick, who do you have standing by?
I told you, we found the biggest guy on the field, okay? Orlando Brown, congrats on being a world champion, man. How's it feel?
Man, it feels so special, and even more special to do it with this group of men, especially this offensive line room, man. We've been coming to work every single day with a common goal in mind. To be here in this moment, to be down in the first half, come through and finish the way that we finished, it's what we were brought here for. And, man, I'm so happy, man. I'm so blessed, to have the opportunity to strap up, man, for this franchise. As I said, man, with these men, it's unreal.
No sacks?
No sacks.
No sacks.
No
and that
sacks.
was one of your bigger challenges of the year, those 2 wins. A lot of people thought they had the edge up, the leg up on you guys.
Absolutely, man. But, at the end of the day, you can't really measure heart. And you look across this offensive line, it's a group of renegades. It's a group of men that have a real passion for the game. And, man, we couldn't ask for a better situation and a better outcome, man. I'm just so blessed and so happy to be with this group.
Yeah, what about you? You come over to this group, you win a world championship at left tackle. What do you think your dad would think about all this, man?
Oh, man, I promised him when I first started playing this game when I was 13 years old that, I'd be a Hall of Famer once I got to this level. And, man, I've been so fortunate to have blocked for 2 MVPs. My quarterback's an MVP this year. I'm a 4-time Pro Bowler. The last 4 Pro Bowls, I'm a Super Bowl champion, the highest honor in all of football, man, as a player. And, man, I'm so blessed. I'm so happy. I know he's looking down. I know he's happy. It's unfortunate that he's not here, but, man, I'm just going to continue to live his legacy on and do my best.
One last one for you, and we'll let you go. You guys really, I thought, established your will in the run game tonight. Pacheco had a big night and everything. How big was that? I know you big guys love pushing forward and blocking for the run.
So big, man, so big. And, we had so much fun today. And it was the longest, shortest game of my career.
Wait, the what? The longest,
shortest game of my career,
Okay, man. Explain that one.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know how long we've been out here, but it seems like 30 minutes, but 6 hours at the same time. So it's been crazy.
Well, time to go celebrate now. We appreciate the time. Great game. Orlando Brown, world champion. We'll send it back to you guys. More to come, though. Nice job, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, what a great interview, Mick.
And you know, an old lineman, they take pride in keeping their quarterback upright.
And they did it.
That's right. No
That's the main
sacks
point.
today for the Eagles defense. And a lot of people were talking about how they're going to come at you with that pass rush, but they managed to keep 15 upright in that regard.
Especially with the ankle injury. That was the main objective here tonight.
All right, Travis Kelce now talking to the media. Let's listen in.
Being on top of the mountain, being here with the guys that we did it with the coaches we did it with, through all the adversity, there's nothing I can say that can really explain how I'm feeling right now. Being at the top with my brothers and my teammates is it's the best feeling in the world. It felt pretty good. Obviously, there were a few plays probably looking at it that we want back, but we were rolling as an offense. We went into that halftime and came out with a different mentality and a lot of confidence.
Travis, what did you say to your brother in the hug with the confetti?
There's nothing you can really say to a loved one in a situation like that. You know, you joke around all the time and say that you want to be your brother in the biggest stage ever, but it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, and that team had great leadership, great coaches. Obviously, it came down to the end, and we got all the respect in the world for those Eagles, man. But there's nothing really I could say to him other than I love him, and he played a hell of a year, a hell of a season.
Travis, both your Super Bowl wins have been epic games and epic comebacks. Obviously, you're just trying to get a ring, but does that add something extra special to it?
There's one thing about getting your first one, and it's a whole nother feeling. It's a whole nother feeling to get to. I wanted this one more than I ever wanted a game ever in my life, and you know, the guys in this locker room, the teammates that I have, they felt the same way.
How's it different?
Biggest difference is it solidifies your greatness. You didn't get lucky once. It wasn't just you know, beginner's luck or however you guys want to call it. You know, this is we took it 2 years in a row, or not 2 years in a row, but 2 out of 4. There you go.
Travis, does that tie into Andy?
Oh, you can call it.
All right, we got Chiefs offensive lineman guard Trey Smith. How's the hat feeling, my man?
It feels amazing.
That jersey looks beat up. Yeah. What was it like on that line tonight?
Yeah, it was extremely physical tonight. You know, the Eagles front seven, they're a very talented front, and we knew how much of a physical game it was going to be. We knew the game was going to be predicated on how well the lines play on each team's. Tell
me how you feel when you see Pat wince in pain, hobble back to the sideline. What is that like for you guys?
For us, it's a nightmare. You don't want to see 15 hurt, limping, really in pain at all. So whenever you see that, you know, the importance for our jobs goes up. You know, we got to be even better. We got to protect him. We got to make sure we can make his job as comfortable as possible. Is there a moment in this game where you said, all right, I'm looking to my man to the left and to the right. We really got to drop down and win this game? Yep. I mean, anytime we had to run the ball late in the game, you know, closing it out, we knew we had to get it done at the end of the day. You know, we just want to get the win. Man, what does it feel like to know 3 times Chiefs have been here in the last 4 seasons, and y'all are having another victory parade in a couple of days? It's pretty incredible. It's a testament to the coaching job Coach Reed and staff has done. You know, I'm a newcomer. You know, this is my second year, but, I mean, man, how fortunate and blessed I am to be a part of this organization. What was it like to see that red and gold confetti come down? Surreal, man. I was just running. Time stood still for a little bit. Congratulations, Trey Smith, Super Bowl champion. Thank you.
Especially Bolton coming up with that scoop and score.
It is. That's what really kept us in this game and propelled us and gave us a chance as an offense to be able to go out there in the second half and perform. Our defense, Coach Spags and Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Bolton, you name it, man. The guys played their tail off. Their rookie secondary, all the young guys that we had stepped up big when we needed it most, and strained to finish when we needed it most. And that's what you saw out there was a lot of guys playing for each other.
Travis, what about Andy Reid at halftime? You guys go into like 7 points on offense in the first half, and then 24 points.
Let's go out there and be ourselves. Play with a little more fire. That was essentially the end of the discussion right there. It was just play with more fire for the guy next to you. It's never a battle of want. Everybody wants it, man. It's the ones that can bring that energy and bring the focus to be able to finish, and that's what you saw out of us today.
Was that Andy who was saying that?
It was everybody. Everybody was in on that.
What about Andy's demeanor and the way he leads? What is it?
is the ultimate challenger. He can relate to you and bring the best out of you. I wish it was easier said than, and I wish I could explain it, but that's what makes him the greatest. That's what makes him the greatest. Be able to have 53 grown men and find a way to challenge them without disrespecting anybody, and find a way to challenge them together. He does it better than anybody I've ever met in my life, man. And I owe a lot to him, and I respect his leadership, and I try and be as much of a leader as he is to everybody else.
On that Kadarius Toney touchdown, is he physically hiding behind you to obscure his view?
Just hold it. Yeah. Okay. Chuck it if you want. Whatever. Okay.
No.
All right, here we go. Oh,
come on.
All right. Well.
Wait. You want to put him up?
All right, here we go. Yeah, put it on Kadarius. There we go. We had Eric Stone Street, but as he said, it's the players' night. Right. and you had a night, Kadarius. Tell us about that punt return first.
Man, it was a shank kick and the opportunity to make a play.
What was that? I mean, you're spinning around, you're dancing along the sidelines. What did you see there?
Man, all I saw was, I don't know. I saw an opportunity. I really saw a cut and blocked.
It seems like you're kind of a wild card with the punt returns. You like that. You kind of like to make stuff happen. Was that fact.
I just try to be the best person I could be out there, the best player, man.
What about this year for you, how it started, coming over to a new team in the middle, had some injuries, now you're a world champion. How do you characterize that year?
Like a Lifetime movie.
Lifetime movie. All right, we're getting Trent McDuffie over here. Should I ask him a question? What should I ask Trent?
Man, ask Trent why he ain't get no pick today, dog.
Thanks, Kadarius. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
All right, Trent. There we go. We're going to pass out the microphone here to first-round draft pick. Here we go. I got you right here.
Are we still on right now? We are live. So as you can see, guys, we're still on television. Trent McDuffie, Super Bowl champ, man.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Oh, man, it's a blessing. Like T. Kelce said, it's time to party. It really is time to party. All this hard work we put in, off-season up till now, everything just unfolded as it should be.
You know, we got a chance to talk to you, of course, opening night. You said you were taking in, soaking up every single moment. What was this one like? Describe the feeling when that clock hit 0 and you know you're Super Bowl champion.
Man, I ran over immediately to my family, looked at them in the stands, and just said, we did it. You know, everything we put on that line, and just seeing their happy faces, seeing the fans smiling, everybody so happy. It was just a wonderful moment.
Look, it was a battle from minute 1 to minute 60.
Yeah.
Talk me through what it's like. I mean, the Chiefs really normally not down like you were late.
I mean, man, we came in knowing that no matter what, we just had to stay together and stay focused. And Coach Spags told us last night, whether we're up 21, whether we're down 21, let's just keep the same focus, same energy. And everybody stuck together and came out here and did what we had to do and fought to the very end.
Now, I don't want to get you in any trouble with Coach Reed, but what was the halftime speech?
Oh, man. Honestly, they just said, we've been here before. Let's just stick to the basics, do what we do, and we're going to be all right.
Man, that red and gold confetti is flowing.
It's
Congratulations.
Thank
We'll see you
so
at the parade.
Much. Sounds good.
Guys, Trent McDuffie, Chiefs first-round draft pick, making a big difference out here tonight.
Appreciate it. Nice job, man.
I never normally would boot you for Mick, but we're live. We'll see you later, man. Man, spirits are high. Everybody's feeling good right now, you guys. What a win. This was a nail-biter, like all the way to the end, and I think you saw the composure of a Chiefs team that's been here before.
The first half, it felt like maybe the Chiefs were outplayed a little bit. The Eagles had these long drives, and they were able to capitalize more times than not. The Chiefs retook that momentum in the third quarter. Eagles come back and tie it up, and what a drive. A 5+ minute drive by the Chiefs to finish this thing off and really not give the Eagles another chance with it.
And when you're winding down those final minutes, Harrison Butker's lining up. He just nails it. Mick and I were in the tunnel waiting to come down. There's some family and friends there. And the minute he kicked that ball, they just erupted. I mean, they felt like this is it, Super Bowl champions once again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to try to get some more, hustle and get some more interviews here before they all get off the field. We'll send it back to you guys, but stand by,
Let me go get George.
All right. It's so exciting. We don't know who they're going to bring over to talk to us next. Thanks, guys. And, you know, we were listening earlier to Travis Kelce, and I loved what he said. This win confirms the first one wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accident. They didn't get lucky. There is something to this team, to this coaching, these players. So you heard him say that this one meant more than almost anything.
Indeed, indeed. One time they could say it's a fluke, but you do this twice, and the territory that we are now in is not a fluke. It's hard work right there. Speaking of hard work, let's get to one of the hardest working journalists I know, Brian Magic, live for us right now as folks are buying all that championship swag. Brian, I keep telling everybody I'm a 2XL.
Oh, man. There is a long line right now, and take a look. This is what it looks like. Your Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. These are the new shirts. They are fresh, and they're right out of the box. And take a look. There's even more of those shirts and all kinds of colors and sizes. And a lot of people who, as soon as the game wrapped up, they left their home or the bar, wherever they were at, and they flooded right here to this store here at the Rally House in Lee Summit to get their freshest shirt, their newest gear. A lot of the fans, as they walk passing me now, and they're taking a look at all the gear. You know, hey, do you mind if I ask you a question? We're live on 41 right now, talking to the fans. First of all, your reactions on that game. What a game.
Oh, my gosh. It was so exciting at the end, you know, when it came down to just a few minutes. It was awesome.
Awesome. Second Super Bowl in 4 years, and now you got the gear. Why did you decide to come out now and say not wait till tomorrow?
Because we knew it'd be gone.
It would be gone. So there.
A lot of it is.
And the folks are out. So folks are shopping here in Lee Summit. Back to you.
I'm going to hold this so you can just hear. I'm not going to keep you long, man.
Okay.
All right, we are standing here with the man of the game, Nick Bolton. Brother, you played out of your mind tonight. What was it about that second gear?
Yeah, man. Again, we got a lot of young guys on our defense, including myself, man. So one thing we do got is youth and speed, and we're going to use it. So all day, man, we kind of prided ourselves all week. We wanted to go out here, fly around, man, and just put the best football we got on the table, man, see what it takes us, man, and hopefully end it in a win. So give a lot of credit to everybody around me, man, that made me better today. D-line kept me clean, man, and Willie was out there knocking blockers out for me when I was going downhill, man. So, man, especially when we could play that well, play that fast, man, and man, it's finally great to get a win, man.
Man, that ball came out. You swooped in. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, man, I didn't even see the ball come out at first. I think he might have kicked it maybe, and that kind of blew it to my attention. But yeah, it was rolling after that, man. It's just scoop and score like we always did. I kind of feel like I was moving in slow motion a little bit. I kind of feel like I was moving in slow motion, so I looked on the screen, nobody was behind me, so it smooth sailing to the end zone.
How's it feel to get that shoulder tap from 15?
Yeah, man, it's great, man. Again, give that guy a lot of credit, man. Yeah, appreciate it. Yes, sir.
He's literally the man of the hour. You also are not only a proud member of Chiefs Kingdom, but, boy, that MIZ was trending.
Yeah, man. I think I found out in there I was the first one to score Mizzou history to score a touchdown, man. That's kind of surprising. We got a lot of
Coach Reed, get on in
yes,
here,
sir.
Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Coach.
Anything you want to say to the folks in Kansas City,
this
Coach?
Guy right here is a beast. Right
yes,
here.
sir. Appreciate it,
Great
Coach.
job.
Love you, Coach.
Love Kansas City. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, Super Bowl champ right there. You know, last one I got for you. You ready to party at the parade in KC?
Oh, man, yeah. I was down there, I think, too, when I was in college. When they first won, I was dreaming about getting an opportunity to win one, man. So getting back to that game, getting back to this game, getting a win, going back and celebrate, man, it's going to be special.
Congratulations, Nick. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Y'all, it is so electric down here. So much fun. Get a quick shout out from 15, a quick tap from Coach Reed. Y'all always know Coach Reed just had a big win when he got the big smile on his face. I bet they got a couple hot cheeseburgers in the back too. All right, we got Mick Schaefer back. Let me get my man his headset.
I'm fine. Get some more players.
I mean, whatever it takes.
Hey, did Andy Reid photobomb you there?
Yeah, Andy Reid photobombed. He said this is the man right here about Nick Bolton. Said he loves Kansas City. We're ready to have a parade.
What a night he had. We touched on it briefly, but not just the scoop and score, but 9 tackles. And I thought the Chiefs were so much more physical than the Eagles all night long, and he kind of led that charge.
Oh, yeah. He said he didn't even see the ball come out at first. He thought he kicked it or something, and that gave him the attention.
And
he
for a
picked it
second
up.
there, he had 2 scoops and scores.
Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. I think we should send it back to you. There's a lot more activity behind us. We're going to see if we can get some more folks in here.
Yep, absolutely.
Y'all go ahead and do what you do best. A couple quick takeaways from that. The fact that he's the first Mizzou Tiger to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl is astounding. And, Haley, you and I were talking, this brother 3 years ago when we were rocking at Power Line and at Union Station for the parade.
I know,
he
isn't
was
that
in college
wild?
here.
Yeah.
Watching as a fan, and now look where he is.
Talk about a full circle moment.
Absolutely. And a huge win for Brett Veach.
Oh, indeed. Let's talk about that moment as it was captured by the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis.
Townsend will hold it. 11 seconds left in Super Bowl 57, 35-35 tie. The kick is good, and Kansas City leads 38-35 with 8 seconds to go in regulation in Super Bowl 57. Hurts takes the snap. The Chiefs only rushing 2 on a delay. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again. For the second time in 4 seasons, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. A big red reflection. The Chiefs are champions.
Oh, you can listen to that all day. Hey, Mick Schaefer with L'Jarius Sneed. Let's listen in. Hey, Mick.
Yeah, here we go, L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius, we saw your family walking down the tunnel. They watched on the same TV we did when the kick went through. They were going nuts. You're kind of an understated guy. They were going crazy.
Yeah, I'm more chill. You know, I'm opposite of them. They kind of crazy.
It's pretty cool watching your family member win a Super Bowl. What's it like winning one?
Oh, man, it's wonderful, man. You know, this is my second one in 3 years, and, you know, it's a blessing to get this one and come on the W side, you know.
When did this game turn? It felt like the Eagles maybe had control early on. You got it back. Was there a moment you thought momentum shifted?
No, yes. Honestly, the momentum did shifted, but I kept my faith in God, and, you know, that's what happened.
Yeah. How were you guys able to slow the Eagles enough down in that second half, get that big 3-and-out that resulted in the Kadarius Toney punt return, able to get enough stops?
Oh, yeah, man. You know, going into the second half, you know, our coaches made adjustments, tried to stop Jalen Hurts, and that's what we came out and did, and we made adjustments, and we came out on the victory side.
I loved it. So all week long, whenever we asked L'Jarius how he's doing, he's like, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You were
Always.
fine, right? And you were probably never going to miss this game for the world, right?
No doubt. I leave it all out there for him. My legs cut off. My head chopped off, too.
That makes sense, man. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Man, I'm going to give my guys, you know, just celebrate.
It's been a long season.
Man, it's been a long season. It's been a long week. No, it's been a long week,
Two of them,
man. But, you know, man, we're finna celebrate this win, and, you know, look at to next year.
You like the hat? You like the new swag and everything?
I love it, man.
I like it. It looks good on you. Well done. You look good out there tonight. L'Jarius Sneed, world champion for a second time. Guys.
All right, thank you, Mick. Fantastic. Hey, time to bring this celebration to the heart of Kansas City because the Chiefs are world champions. This Wednesday, you can join us for the Chiefs World Champions Parade. KSHB 41 is the Chiefs' official broadcast partner.
That's right. We're talking more cameras, more celebrations, more exclusives, and we promise no one else in Kansas City will get you this close to all the action. Wednesday morning, we are starting at 4:30. The parade begins at noon right here on KSHB 41, your home of the Chiefs.
All right, now we want to go back to Dia Wall out live on the field with Frank Clark. Hey, Dia.
Y'all, I got Frank, the Shark Clark. Boy, first of all, let me shake the hand, the man of the hour, Super Bowl champ. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Blessed, you know. Was very emotional a little bit ago. You know, I'm just thinking about our journey, thinking about my journey, and then thinking about, you know, our first half struggles. You know, we came out, we wasn't that hot. You know, things looked kind of ugly. Made some mistakes. You know, I had an offside penalty early in the game, but just was making a lot of mistakes that was hurting us as a team, essentially. Came out second half and it corrected it.
What is it like to get back? I mean, a lot of folks counted the Chiefs out, believe it or not, coming into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start the way you guys wanted, but you turned it around, played it tight. I mean, this was a classic.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about you guys' mentality as a team that really got you to this point?
The biggest thing is just trusting one each other. You know what I mean? When you got a guy who it's called a backup or things like that. You know, sometimes his confidence can be broken. Sometimes, you know, these guys, they face confidence problems because they don't play as much. You know, they're not looked at as the starter. They're not looked at as like that valuable guy like a lot of other guys. But, you know, the importance of that is when you have guys like Colin Sanders who sit on your bench who can be starting for any NFL team in the world. When you have guys that can come in the game and replace the starter and put up just as, you know, good at numbers or do his job just as good. That's all we can ask for sometimes. It's just that next man up mentality.
Man, the Eagles are a potent offense. They came out really trying to play fast. This was about as physical as I've seen y'all play, man. What was it about this game that brought that out of y'all?
Yeah, that happens. I feel like it's been more physical games this year. I feel like they're not really like that physical of a team. I feel like they do a lot of things that, are difficult to understand just with their schemes and their motions and, them utilizing their runs, with the quarterback and stuff like that. But I feel like at the end of the day, this isn't about the Eagles. I feel like I talked about them all week. You know what I'm saying? I talked about them all week. I gave them all the respect I could have gave them. I think y'all know that. And I think this is about the Chiefs Kingdom.
Absolutely. Speaking of Chiefs Kingdom, it was loud in here. You heard that anthem.
Yeah, I heard it. I started hearing that Arrowhead chop.
What does the fan base mean to you?
The world. When you can have people travel, man, these folks, we're in Phoenix, Arizona, we got folks out here from Missouri, Kansas, but at the end of the day, they coming from all around the world. Chiefs Kingdom is everywhere. It's a global thing. But just watching, our fans, man, they do this all the time, every week. No matter where we go. We can go to India. We can go to Africa.
Germany.
I think Germany. You hear me? Next year. I think it's going to be Chief Kingdom. I don't know. They know how to show up.
Last one I have for you.
Bulletin board out there.
Last one I have for you, man. We know y'all enjoyed that parade a few years ago. You ready to do it again?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's going to be lit. You know what I mean? Round two.
Frank the Shark Clark, thank you for the
I'll
time.
See you
Congratulations.
There. I appreciate you.
Super Bowl champion. I'll let you celebrate.
There you go.
We got to give it up, man. There have been a lot of folks talking about the fact that this game did not start the way they wanted. And just that calm composure, y'all, I think is why you see all this red and gold confetti out here. So we're going to send it back to you. I see Carlos Dunlap. I got to get out here and get some more folks. Bring them to the people.
All right, do what you do, sis. The kingdom stretches far and wide indeed.
Thank you
Rihanna performed at halftime, right? She said it best. Oh, now, what's my name? Super Bowl champions.
That's right.
That's your name right there.
That's right. But you have to have the swag. Now we all need the matching swag to show that we're champions. Bryant?
Yeah, that's right. And there's a lot of swag right here at Rally House. This is just one shirt that you could wear. 3-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. This is their third chip in the Dynasty. Take a look at all the people who are getting their latest, greatest, freshest championship gear. All the shirts, all the hats, all the items. Folks are lining up inside the store. There's a long line that kind of wraps around the store. You got a lot of people standing here in the checkout line. There's even more people outside. It's not a bad night to be standing outside buying some Super Bowl championship swag for your winning team. So a lot of excitement out here in Lee Summit. Back to you guys.
All right, we got Carlos Dunlap. How you feeling, Super Bowl champion?
I feel like a champion. All the rest of the emotions really haven't fully all set in. But, seeing the emotions on my mom's face, my brother's face, my sister's face, my nephew's face, my whole family, Team Dunlap is here.
We talked on opening night, and you really mentioned just that veteran experience combined with the youth, and I think that really showed up for y'all tonight.
Yeah, you see the young boys making plays. You see them setting the tone early, big hits on defense early, trying to set the tone, and then, everything had its ebbs and flows throughout the game, but at the end of the day, we did what we needed to do to win, and we're champions.
What was the toughest point of this game for you?
Being down 10 points, trying to change the momentum. Obviously, momentum drives the whole game, and they had the momentum, but we welcomed that opportunity and that challenge as a defense and got the stop we needed, and the offense put the drive together we needed, and then, Butt finished off the game.
That clock hit 0. What's the feeling on the sideline, man?
This is real. I'm a world champion, championship, Carlos Dunlap, Super Bowl champion, world champion. I got to figure out how I'm going to caption it or phrase. World champion, Carlos Dunlap.
You need business cards?
Super Bowl champion, Carlos Dunlap. 100 sack, Super Bowl champ. I don't know how to say it, but we're going to figure it out.
You got some time to work on it, man. Chiefs Kingdom showed up and showed out. It was loud out here today.
Yes, they split the stadium in half, but I think we had a lot of red sprinkled in with their green. Chiefs Kingdom has showed up all year. The loudest fans all season long. We appreciate y'all. This is for us. Congrats. Parade coming soon. Can't wait.
Are you working on your parade fit?
I don't have to work on it. I just go in the closet.
Well, we'll see you there.
Hey.
Thanks, Carlos Dunlap,
Thank
Super Bowl
you.
champion.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerick, come on in here, bro. Let's go ahead and switch this out. I'm going to get Mick Schaefer involved.
Oh, we put on the headset? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Los.
Hey, man, it took us a long time to get this. It took us a long time to get this.
That was an unreal play, right?
In there, yeah. It's all good. It took us a long time, bro. For real, we got to enjoy this one.
Wait, was that just love from the biggest guy on the team to the littlest guy on the team right there?
It definitely was. I might be the second littlest, though.
Who, Kadarius or who's?
Kadarius is a little bit taller than me. I give him that. EB shorter than me, and Clyde shorter than me.
Yeah.
So that'll make me third shortest. But, we appreciate the big guys every day.
I mean, it's amazing how big he is
Yes.
every time I see him.
No,
but, hey,
I mean-
you're standing tall tonight. You're a world
Yes.
champion, Super Bowl champ. What does that feel like?
Man, it feels amazing. It's starting to sink in a little bit. I still can't put it into words. Maybe in tomorrow I'll be able to put it into words. But just a wonderful moment, man. Just soaking it all in. The confetti, the love, my coaches. There go my coach right here. This is my guy right here.
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
This is my dog right here. Come on, man.
Was he the one that told you to slide at the one?
Man, all the coaches told us to slide, man. It's called church mode. We do it every Friday. And it came up today in the biggest situation, and that's why we practice those things. So when it comes up, it shows up in the game. It's not news. And like I said, man, it showed up in the biggest game tonight.
Is that hard to do in that, you're trained to seek out the end zone? You guys are running so fast out there. Was it hard to just put on the brakes?
Nah, not at all. I mean, it was tempting, don't get me wrong, but definitely not hard, man. Like I said, we practice every Friday. It's not just me out there. It's not about me. It's about the team. And, that play was about the team. And it's the right thing to do is when we practice. And like you said, man, it ran out the clock. We got butt kicked the game winning field goal, man. This feeling right here is better than any touchdown I could have scored all year. So I'm appreciative of it, man. I'm going to soak it all in some more.
So you were anticipating them just kind of opening the door up and letting you guys
No,
score?
I didn't think that I didn't think it was going to happen like that. But once I kind of got out to the edge, I kind of seen everybody stop.
Yep.
And like I said, man, we already had the church mode call. Pat called it in the huddle. And, like I said, man, it just took place to happen. And now we're standing here Super Bowl champs.
All right, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, he's at the podium now. We'll let you go, Jerick.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations,
Thank
Super
you.
Bowl champion Jerick McKinnon. Here's Patrick Mahomes. Nice job, man.
All right, there you heard Jerick McKinnon. They call it church mode, and that possibly is what won them the game, what secured the game, because Philadelphia only had a few seconds left versus almost 2 minutes left in the game. Before that, we heard Carlos Dunlap, one of the seasoned veterans, first year on this team. This is the year he got his 100th career sack, and he really has been a veteran leader, even if not for the stats. Just for the intangibles, behind the scenes. Gian Kim is live for us right now. Gian, here, rocking right behind you. Where are you? Describe the move for us.
Oh my gosh, hello. I am out here at Academy Sports and Outdoors. All of the fans have left their couches and the bars. This is where they want to be now. Take a look at this line. It just wraps around the entire building. Hi. Oh my gosh, the energy. Well, now that we have the bragging rights.
All right, we got Patrick Mahomes right now. Gian, we'll check back in with you. Let's listen to the
Receivers
MVP.
and learning what they did well, learning what we could get better at, and guys leading from there, man. I thought the guys accepted the challenge. It was a crazy year, but we ended up on top, man. You can't ask for any more from those guys.
You had the scramble play. I'm wondering how much was your ankle hurting tonight? How much was it hurting on that scramble play?
I mean, it felt great until I kind of rolled it a little bit. I felt really good, and then that happened, and I had a lot of soreness going through into halftime, and was able to move it around, kind of get taped up a little bit, and go out there in that second half, and it didn't feel good, but I was going to leave it all out there, and I'm glad it was enough for the win.
Patrick, what does this mean to you in terms of Andy's success tonight too, and your relationship with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I think everybody knew that. But these last two Super Bowls kind of cemented that. And to have someone that is such a great person who gets the best out of the players and to become men and players, you wanted to do that. You wanted to win those Super Bowls for them, and it was it's great that we did that. And like you said, man, we're not done. I'm gonna have them around here for a little bit longer at least.
You mentioned the extended halftime helped you guys kind of rally and get your energy up. What do you recollect from the extended halftime? Probably worked.
Yeah, no, I was proud because I talked a little bit, but it was everybody. It wasn't like I was the only person talking in that locker room, and we just challenged each other, man, to leave everything out there. And I don't want to say we played tight in the first half, but you didn't see that same joy that we play with. And I wanted guys to just know that everything we worked for is for this moment. You have to enjoy this moment. You can't let the moment overtake you. I thought the guys did that in the second half, and they fought to the very end. And that's all you can ask is guys leave everything they have on the football field.
Patrick, congratulations. 10 years ago, you tweeted, man, how awesome would it be to win a Super Bowl and say, I watched Disney World. Here you are going for a second time. How do you put all of this into perspective?
It's hard, man. It hasn't even sank in, I don't think, even yet. I mean, I appreciate it because of the failures. I mean, the failure of losing the Super Bowl and losing the AFC Championship game, it gives you a greater appreciation to be standing here as a champion. Luckily, I'm going to Disneyland now, so I have Disney World and Disneyland crossed off, and ultimately make some more parks so I can go around everywhere and do a world tour.
Patrick Jones talked about you guys being counted out all season. Does that make this win feel more special?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we were counted out, but I mean, there was a lot more critics than there was the previous years I had been here. And I told them at the beginning of the year, I said, as long as Andy Reid's coaching, we're going to have success as an offense, not trusting the leaders that we have on that defense. And so to go from a team that wasn't, I wouldn't even say majority picked to win the AFC West to win the Super Bowl, that speaks to the guys that we have in that locker room.
Patrick, you look better than the week. You feel great, right?
Yeah, I felt really good until I kind of aggravated it a little bit, but it was. I mean, you're in the Super Bowl. You can worry about getting it healthy in the off season. So I just kind of fought through, and we were able to win the game.
Patrick, what do you think of Jalen Hurts' performance? You had an MVP performance, but if they had won, he probably would have been MVP.
Yeah, I mean, if there was any doubters left, there shouldn't be now. I mean, the way he stepped up on this stage and ran through the ball, whatever it took for his team to win. I mean, that was a special performance that I don't want it to get lost in the loss that they had. I mean, even whenever we got all the momentum in that game and we went up 8 points in the fourth quarter, for him to respond and move his team right down the football field and run it in himself for the 2-point conversion, it was a special performance by him, man. And I mean, you make sure you appreciate that when you look back on this game.
Patrick, how would you describe tonight's win? And how would you compare it to your
The first Super Bowl, I thought was, I mean, obviously I didn't win it the first year that I started, but I thought the first Super Bowl was just kind of like, oh, this is amazing. Like, we won the Super Bowl. Like, this is happy. Like, you're just like a little kid winning a prize at the fair. I mean, whereas this one, you've dealt with failure. You understand how hard it is to get back on this stage and to win this game. I mean, I played in a Super Bowl where I got blown out, where it was, I got all hyped up, and then you go out there and you don't do anything. And then I'll lose the AFC Championship game in overtime, when I thought we had a chance to win the Super Bowl that year. And have a full brand new team and have to go through the strain of being better and better every single day, it gives you a greater appreciation for winning this game.
Patrick, do you feel like this is a greater achievement for the team than the last Super Bowl championship?
Yeah, I mean, it's a brand new team. I mean, every Super Bowl is something that you'll have for the rest of your life. I think there's only like 12 guys that were on that team that won that first Super Bowl. It might be a little bit more, but so have a brand new team with a lot of rookies playing that stepped up. I mean, we were down 10 points at halftime to probably the best team in the NFL all year long, and they're known for getting ahead of teams and kind of finishing the game off. And for those guys to step up and make those plays in that second half, man, just speaks to the hard work they put in every single day. And luckily, a lot of those guys are young, so we'll have a lot of those guys back next year.
How do you think it helped you as a player to have to break in a new group of receivers?
Yeah, I had to become a better leader, and I've always vocally talked, but I had to take a next step in my leadership ability of how I showed guys how we work and how I couldn't let the little stuff slide because we have such great players around me that have done it for so long. And I had to teach the culture that we have here that I learned from Alex Smith and I learned from Derek Johnson. I had to teach those guys the culture of how we work and do things. And luckily for me, I have guys like Travis and Frank and Chris that helped me out with that as well. And man, I was proud of those guys, man, how they responded in this big game.
Patrick, the second time you come from behind in a Super Bowl. I know last Monday we were talking that you have ready to have dinner with Elway, with the Manning brothers, with Teichman, Stovak. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't even sunk in yet. I mean, to be down to a team like that and to come back and win the game, I wish I'd make it easier and not be down, but I feel like I play better when we are down. So I'll try to do whatever I can to learn how to not get in those situations and just start fast and finish faster. But you'll look back on these games the rest of your life, and you'll watch these games when they're on TV and stuff like that. And I'm just glad I get to enjoy it with some of the best men on earth.
Patrick, mentioned a lot of guys that made plays.
Did you have to get
a pain-killing shot at halftime? If not, what sort of treatment did you get at halftime on the ankle?
I did not get a pain-killing shot, but we did some stuff to get it ready to go for that second half.
Andy mentioned a lot of different guys who make plays. How about the one that Jerick McKinnon made in the moment, not getting in the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, to have a vet like that who knows, I mean, all year long he proved how smart he was on that football field. He's like another quarterback back there, and he made it a little closer than I wanted him to. We talked about it in the huddle before the play, but we needed it because I ended up losing so many yards when I was taking those knees. So it was a smart decision on him, and in that big of a moment, you want to run in and just score the touchdown. But we work on that stuff every single week to prepare ourselves for those moments. And I want to give a credit to Eric Bieniemy because even though sometimes we get tired of listening to them talking about those moments, they always seem to happen in the biggest games, and he makes sure we go over the details every single week about them. I thought guys they embraced the moment. I think that's the biggest thing is that first half, we were playing, we were doing some good stuff, but I felt like guys were getting consumed by everything around us and not just going out there and playing and enjoying this game that we've played since we were little kids. Guys talked in the locker room, and we just said, let's leave it all out there. Let's leave it all out there for 30 minutes and see what happens at the end of the day. And I thought guys did that, and I think the biggest thing was the offensive line. I mean, the way they were able to protect me in that second half whenever we couldn't use those chips, we couldn't use that stuff to help them out against a great defensive line. That's the reason we won this game.
What went through your mind on that play, that 360 yards?
All right, I am here with Travis Kelce, Chiefs tight end, two-time Super Bowl champion. Congratulations, baby.
Thank you very much. We owe it to Chiefs Kingdom for sticking with us all the time.
Man, this game was hyped up for the last 2 weeks. People calling it the Kelce Bowl. You and Jason said don't call it that. What was it like for you, not only as a player, but for you and your family?
Man, it's I'm holding back tears as we speak about it now. It's the ultimate feeling, and I can't thank the world enough for supporting my family, embracing my family, enjoying seeing my mom and all the love that she was getting, all of her flowers, and I owe my entire life to not only my brother who's guided me through life and kind of walked the walk before I even thought about playing football, but to my mother and my father for raising us the way they did, man. And I love them to death.
First thing you said to your brother when the game wrapped up? There's
nothing you can really say to a guy after he loses the biggest game, other than you love him. You love him to death, and it's we both knew it was going to be tough for somebody, and I just feel for the big guy right now.
You guys, when you win this game, talk to me about the feeling, because this game was a battle, start to finish.
From the beginning, we knew we were in a dogfight. That team is unbelievable. Philadelphia has nothing to hang their hats on or hang their heads on. It's that team was one of the best football teams I've ever played. And they played their tails off all the way till the end, and that game could have gone any way at the end.
You hit the first touchdown for the Chiefs in the game. You hit the stanky leg. It was trending, my man.
Oh, yeah, that thing was real stanky. That thing was stanky. I'm telling you, it was Super Bowl stanky, super stanky.
Last one I got for you, man. We're about to have a heck of a parade in Kansas City. You ready for that?
Chiefs Kingdom, we need you to show up and show out, baby. You can count on us being there bringing the juice. You guys better bring it, too.
Travis Kelce, thank you, man, for the time.
Thank you very much. You
Congratulations.
Already know. Chiefs Kingdom, we coming back, KC.
There you have it, the man of the hour. Thank you, Travis. He's been busy all week. And shout out to Ed Kelce, because I talked to him earlier this week on the red carpet. Initially, when I said, hey, Travis, can I get a couple questions? He was like, nah, I'm a little bit busy. And I was standing there talking to Ed Kelce, and he said, oh, my God, the story you did was great.
Is this the microphone that Travis Kelce touched?
It's the microphone that Travis Kelce touched. And, again, I was just telling everybody back home in KC, shout out to Ed Kelce, because Travis was like, I'm tired, man. And his dad said, oh, no, that's a nice young lady. You're going to do that interview.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he said, you're lucky I got the sweetest dad in the world. And shout out to the Kelces. They have really embraced the hype and the energy surrounding this game.
What a 2 weeks. And I bet and you might have touched on it, I wasn't listening to the interview, but I bet it's a relief for Travis to get this over with, because as much joy as he feels for himself, he's got to feel pain for his brother.
He did. He almost was about as subdued as you could be being a Super Bowl champion. He said, what do you say to a guy who's lost the biggest game? And he talked about, like, he was holding back tears. You know, he said, I owe my brother everything. And so they knew it was going to be tough for somebody. I know Kansas City is celebrating. Word on the street, Jason Kelce may actually show up at the Chiefs party so they can celebrate together.
Makes sense. I mean, they all know each other, right? Travis knows so many Eagles, and Jason knows so many Kansas City Chiefs, but they turned into America's family this week. Everybody got to know the Kelces, and so that was a cool thing. And seeing Don up there hanging out with Goodell and everything. And what a dicey situation we had. Wait, Patrick Mahomes talking, and then Travis Kelce waiting. That was tough. Good call by the producers.
Yeah, I said, hey, man, we got Travis here. Can we speed up? And he was like, it's okay. 15's talking. But we got Gian Kim reporting for us live there in Kansas City. Gian, I know the energy is through the roof.
Absolutely, Dia. I just heard Kelce tell her fans to show up and show out, and here they are. Take a look at all their glory. Oh, my gosh. The line has been wrapping around this building for hours at this point. Now, I mean, it hasn't gotten any shorter since I've been out here. We're just going to go up to a fan here. What do you guys have your eyes on? What are you trying to buy here today?
Just a shirt. I want to represent KC.
Absolutely. Now that we have the bragging rights of a Super Bowl championship, we've got to get the swag, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to represent tomorrow at work?
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
And on Wednesday.
And on Wednesday.
The whole week.
Do you guys plan on being at the parade?
We'll definitely be there.
Walk us through kind of your emotional roller coaster watching the game tonight.
It was hard to watch, that's for sure, but the ending was definitely what we wanted.
Did you guys know that you guys wanted to come here right after the game?
Yeah, yeah. We were here 2 weeks ago getting the other shirt. I got it on right now.
Champion shirts right here. Yeah. Well, out with the old, in with the new, yes?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Describe to us a little bit of the atmosphere here, sir.
Jubilant, a lot of people cheering and everything. Everybody's having a good time.
What would be your message to our Chiefs who worked hard today?
I'm sorry?
What would be your message to the Chiefs today who worked hard?
Thank you. You guys put in one hell of a day. We thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, you guys take a look at this line. I have no idea where it ends at this point, but we'll send it back to you guys, and we'll be out here all night.
So will the fans. And so will the fans as long as there's merch.
Oh
Okay, Twinkle Toes, Megan Abundance. I see you and a man next to you. What's up, sis?
We're out here. Yes. I'm here with Shay. Shay, how you feeling?
I feel fabulous, spectacular, incredible, all in one. I got my friends. This is my bachelor party weekend. And I am so...
You can tell they're having a good time out here. They got the flag. We got season ticket holders out here. It is a party out in Westport right now. A couple hundred people have taken to the streets. We are out by 10 Roof right now. People are having a good time. Pure elation. Now, honestly, they knew it would come down to that one last drive where Chiefs got that victory. It was professional. It was pure business. And now they are leaving champions. Shay, what were you feeling like when those last few minutes were on the clock?
Intense. But I knew that we had family here. They are called brotherly love in Philly, but this is family here. All in Kansas City. Show out, and it's time to party. It's time to party, Travis.
It's parade time.
It is parade time. I will see you, Travis Kelce, on the podium. Let's go! Let's go!
All right, guys. Mick, we're going to you.
Yeah. All right, we're here with Brett Veach live on the field of Super Bowl 57. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're never easy, but this one was amazing. How do you put this one into words?
I mean, it's special, and it's funny because I feel like all season we played in so many tight games, and, you know, we were down 10 at halftime, and I mean, I don't know. I usually get a vibe every game, and some games it's good, some games it's not so good, but we were down 10 at halftime. I just felt like we were going to do it, and I just felt like if this game got close and was close toward the end, that we'd find a way, and you know, that's the thing. This team has been so battle-tested all year, and we've played in so many close games that, you know, we know how to handle that type of finish. And, you know, certainly this game was no different. And, you know, that last drive to see everyone chip in, the old lineman holding up, and how about Jerick McKinnon? I mean,
what a play, right?
Yeah,
how ahead
so
is that?
Smart. I mean,
he called it church mode.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so smart and so savvy, and I mean, it was kind of reflective on the whole year. Just guys maybe it's not always pretty, but guys knowing what they need to do to get big wins, and I mean, what a night and what an experience.
When did this game turn for you? Was it maybe that first drive of the second half when you got back within one score?
For me, I think it was the Kadarius Toney punt return. And as soon as he made that punt return, I just felt like we were going to win, and I've been joking with my parents all week because, they always ask about, how's everyone doing? Is Pat's ankle okay? And Travis is back, and KT's hamstring and ankle.
It's a long list this week.
Yeah, no, I said, listen, they're going to play. And I said, KT looked really good. And I joke with my brother and my dad before the game. I said, KT will have a big play. I mean, that guy's special, and he'll find a way to make a play. And I think when he had that punt return, and I think it was like 65 yards.
Yeah.
Someone said it was like the longest in Super Bowl history, I think, the punt return. But when he had that punt return, I just felt like, we're going to do this thing.
Yeah, and you got it done. And what a 4-minute drill at the end, right? You talked about that last drive to just never give them, because they were quick strike, right? But just to not give them a chance.
Yeah, and that's, preparation is coaching, and it's, knowing how to get first downs, know how to kill the clock. And, I mean, it was just, it was a clinic by Coach Reed. Got our guys in position, got a couple first downs, and, again, as we mentioned, Jerick McKinnon just sliding, getting that first down, and making sure they had no time to win the game. And from top to bottom, from coaching to, the talent on our roster to the players making plays, it was a total team victory.
And how about your rookie class?
Yeah.
I mean, they shined big time all year long. It seems like they took it to another level in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 rookies score touchdowns tonight in 10 and 24, and it's a great group. And I think from the moment they stepped on the field at rookie minicamp and OTAs, that the spotlight was never too big for them, and they took some bumps along the way, but they didn't ever doubt themselves, and our coaches never wavered in their confidence in them.
A couple more quick ones here. Kansas City's on the clock now, right?
Yeah,
Speaking of draft,
on the clock,
it's coming up. You got to get the 32nd pick. That's the best pick.
No, actually 31st, because Miami lost it. I think it's forfeited their first round pick. So we're picking 31st. So I joke with the guys all year. I said we want the 31st pick. So, but look, I mean, we'll get back to KC, and we'll certainly enjoy this next few days.
You can't trade it away.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see. But the good thing is, we're hosting the draft as reigning world champions, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about the fit here. Is this a old Hank Stram kind of throwback?
So it is, and we broke these out back in 20 at the Miami Super Bowl, and we kind of retired them. And Clark had mentioned to me that he wanted to bring them back out again, so we're officially 2-0 now in these coats. So
the magic is still there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Congratulations, Brett Veach. Guys, send it back
Congrats
to you.
Congrats to all the Kingdom in KC, too.
That's right. Hey, they're partying back there at
It's
P&L.
awesome. Awesome.
All right.
Hey, we've seen the celebration there in Arizona and the celebrations all around Kansas City. So let's take a look back at why everyone is celebrating. We'll send it back out to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The Chiefs win the toss, so a good start for them in Super Bowl 57. We'll start with the Eagles. They're on their first drive of the game. Chiefs offsides penalty puts them at the goal line, and Jalen Hurts keeps it for the score. Eagles go up 7-0. Okay, now it's time to put the ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes, okay? He finds his better half, of course. Who better than to hit Travis Kelce? That's an 18-yard touchdown. That's Kelce's 16th career postseason touchdown. He's only behind Jerry Rice now, okay? We're all tied up at 7 with the extra point. Now, nearing the end of the first quarter here, Harrison Butker comes on to attempt the 42-yarder, but he doinks it off the upright, no good, and we head to the second, tied at 7. Jalen Hurts now with the ball, looking. He's going to air this one out, showing off that arm strength. It's a 45-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown. Too easy for the Eagles there. They go 68 yards in 5 plays for the score. 14-7 lead now, okay? The Chiefs, they're in need of a stop badly, and they get one. That's Nick Bolton. He strips it, recovers it, and takes it 36 yards to show off his touchdown dance. The scoop and score ties this game up at 14. Now, we're not quite to the 2-minute warning here. The Eagles in scoring position. That's Jalen Hurts running it in for his second rushing touchdown on the night. Eagles go up 21-14. Okay, now here's where Chiefs Kingdom collectively panics. They take a deep breath because Mahomes, he's going to get tackled here. And he comes up from this play limping, and he appears to be in a lot of pain. The Chiefs, they would go to the locker room down 24-14. But here he comes out in the third quarter. Looks to be okay. He's going to hand this one off to Isaiah Pacheco at the goal line. And Isaiah Pacheco is going to get his first career postseason touchdown. The Chiefs trailing now 24-21. And here's where it gets a little bit weird. Hurts goes to Sanders, who gets hit by L'Jarius Sneed. Ball comes loose. Nick Bolton's there. Picks it up, takes it to the end zone. We think it might be a touchdown, but hold on, no, it's not. The ruling is an incomplete pass, so that one's not going to count. The Chiefs hold them to a field goal, though, so the Eagles only go up 27-21 at this point. Let's go on to the fourth quarter. Third and goal for Kansas City. Mahomes to Kadarius Toney, who's wide open. He finds the end zone and gives the Chiefs their first lead of the game, 28-17. Now, the Chiefs D sends the Eagles back to the sideline. They punt, and watch this. This is Kadarius Toney. He's back there for the punt return, just juking all the defenders, breaking ankles out there. He's still on his feet, going, and he's finally going to be brought down just shy of the goal line. He's about at the 5-yard line. That's the longest postseason punt return in Chiefs history. And now the rookie Sky Moore gets the touchdown from Patrick Mahomes. That's his first career postseason touchdown. Chiefs go up 35-27. Now, 3rd and 5 here for the Eagles. Hurts is going to air it out again. He goes to Devontae Smith. What a catch, but he steps out just before the goal line, setting up the QB sneak for Jalen Hurts. He's in there, and now comes the 2-point conversion, and who other than to keep it? That's Hurts again. They get the 2-point conversion, and now we are tied again at 35 with just over 5 minutes to go. Whew, and here's where it gets crazy. Chiefs Kingdom holding their breath. Butker attempting the field goal with 11 seconds left on the clock. The 27-yard field goal up right down the middle. The Chiefs win this one thanks to Harrison Butker. The Eagles, they couldn't get anything done with only 8 seconds left on the clock. 38-35, your final. The Chiefs crown them Super Bowl 57 champions. Let's go back out to Arizona. Dia-Wall, let's check in with you.
Hey, Mackenzie, thanks for those outstanding highlights. I am here with the man on the call, Mitch Holtis. All right, what was the final call of the game? I know you remember.
It was, gosh, to win this game. And by the way, Mackenzie was there when we began it in training camp the very first night. That's the night I put out there. You can doubt us, you can disrespect us, you can dislike us, but now you're going to have to deal with us being Super Bowl champions. So what an amazing game. But for this team in the second half to not panic, and they ran the ball. They ran the ball more than they threw it, and to score on 4 straight possessions against that defense was outstanding.
What was the part where you really felt like, okay, this momentum's going to shift? Because early in the game, it felt like the Eagles were in control a little bit.
Truthfully, the biggest play of this game that people will forget about is right over here. Colin Saunders chases Jalen Hurts out of bounds for a 1-yard sack. The Eagles have the ball for almost 8 minutes and get 3 points. Now, the Chiefs had cut it to 3, so it's a 1-possession game. It's not 10-point lead again, and that's when you could kind of sense the momentum shifting to the Chiefs and some pressure on the Eagles. The Eagles hadn't faced fourth-quarter pressure all year, do you? They only had 1 fourth-quarter comeback all year, and that was against Indianapolis. So you thought if the Chiefs could get to that point, then it was on, and then a touchdown gave them the lead. So Colin Saunders makes the play that I'm going to remind everybody about as long as the Lord gives me breath on this earth, because that was a huge play.
What was the bigger win, Miami or Arizona?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a tie. It's a tie. But they're both different. But this team, I'm so proud of this team, because everybody thought they'd be covered by volcanic ash, right, on Halloween. Like, oh, they're going to finish 5th in the 4-team AFC West. That's why busted it out at the end of the Cincinnati game. These guys faced nothing. They had 8 games, the first 8 games of the year against winning teams. That hadn't happened in NFL history. They just handled what was in front of them all year long. Close games, and guys came together. This is a special group, I'm telling you.
What's the feeling when you see Patrick Mahomes wince in pain and hobble literally off the field?
The thing that saved us there was the long halftime, so we can thank Rihanna, right? Let's thank Rihanna, because that was a long halftime that they had a chance to try to get him as good a shape as they possibly could. But that's a big – there were 2 possessions in the first half that the Chiefs could have taken a lead, right? They missed the field goal right here, and then – in that possession where they went 3 and out, and Philadelphia got the ball back. So instead of the Chiefs having 2 straight possessions to end the half and start the half, Philly gets the points. And so that was big then to come back, but then just to kind of dominate the second half on offense against the #1 defense in the NFL in the playoffs. And for much of the year, in most of the statistics, it was, as Coach would say, a thing of beauty.
What does this do for Andy Reid's legacy?
This game is so historic for a lot of reasons. I've said this, Dia. If he's not on Mount Rushmore of NFL head coaches, he's on the next closest mountain. Start chiseling his face, because this is 22 playoff wins, and that's second only to Bill Belichick. But for him to get this championship to get a second championship in 4 years that puts him in that category. And then for Patrick Mahomes to be the first guy to lead the league in passing and win the Super Bowl. It's never happened. And he's the first guy to be on a 1 seed, lead the league in passing, and win the Super Bowl, because 4 guys had tried it, and it was Marino, it was Tom Brady, they couldn't do it. It was Kurt Warner, and who else? Oh, Peyton Manning. None of those guys could do it. Patrick Mahomes did it tonight. This is a historic win.
All right, you ready to have a parade?
I am ready to have a parade. Let's go have one.
Congratulations.
You gonna be in it with me? Let's do it.
Thanks for the time. Mitch Holtis,
awesome.
the voice of the Chiefs.
And I'll just say this. You can doubt the Chiefs, you can disrespect the Chiefs, you can dislike the Chiefs, but you're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
Mitch Holtis, thank you so much. Hey, the confetti is flowing, guys, right here. We're going to send it back to you and see who else we can hunt down and bring you live.
Always good to hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis. And Mitch talked a bit about that elongated halftime that kind of helped. So the trainers were able to do some work on his ankle.
Look at you.
As you see right there, Main Street is hopping with foot traffic and car traffic right now. All right, folks, the Chiefs are world champions, and it's time to celebrate. We're going to celebrate to the heart of Kansas City on Wednesday. So join us for that Chiefs World Champions Parade.
KSHB 41 is the Chiefs' official broadcast partner, too. So we are talking more cameras, more celebrations, more exclusives like the ones you've been watching all night with Dia and Mick and Travis Kelce and all those players and Mitch Holtis. We're going to bring you that on Wednesday. No one else in Kansas City will get you this close to the action. So Wednesday morning, we will start live at 4:30 a.m. The parade begins at noon right here on KSHB 41, your home of the Chiefs.
Let's get right out to KSHB 41 news reporter Gian Kim, who is standing by live for us right now with folks, and that swag is flying off the racks, Gian.
Absolutely. I had to get inside to do a little shopping myself, and then I met Megan here. Megan, thanks for being with us. Yes. It's been chaotic outside with all the fans and the lines, but there's a method to the madness. Talk to us a little bit about the preparation that went into preparing for something like this today.
So beforehand, we hoped and knew that the Chiefs were going to win again. So we had to order all of our stuff, obviously, beforehand, and our great people that we work with, our vendors, they'll send us the stuff, and then basically we get it, we put up in boxes, and then wait until the big day, which is today, obviously.
You told me things are already selling out.
That's right. So our locker room has sold out for tonight. We're getting more shipments, so definitely come back in and get it when it's here, but for tonight it's gone. But
folks, you better come here because things are selling out, okay? Now, tell me about how much of a business boost this is for you. We talked a little bit about revenue before this. Tell me about the help that you're getting from this.
Yeah, it's definitely a great boost, and like you said when we were talking earlier, it's great for small business too, but it's great for us, and it's great to just be with the fans that are coming in. You're going to hear them cheering behind me. It's great, just fun to be out here tonight.
Yeah. So when people come in, what can they expect? What are you guys selling out here today?
So we've got all Super Bowl champs merch out right now. So starting with, we've got hats, obviously, over here. And then we've got our Locker Champ Chi, which is the same T-shirt that's on the field that the players are wearing on the field. So that is a big selling item and super fun to wear, obviously, tomorrow or when the parade comes, you know. And then from there, we've got men's shirts next to that. All sorts of different styles. We got long sleeve, short sleeve, different colors, things like that. And then from there, we've also got jackets, women's shirts, youth, the list goes on. We've got it all.
What was it like to open your doors today at 9:30? I mean, was there already a line? I mean, talk to me about that excitement.
There was already a line when we were ready to open the doors, so it was definitely exciting. Everyone was really pumped to get in here and get their gear. People were cheering, yelling. It was awesome.
Where is your gear, my friend?
I haven't bought it yet.
Oh my gosh, look at these crazy fans. How do you feel, sir?
I feel amazing. It's incredible.
What do you have your eyes on? What are you here to buy?
Everything. I have a bunch of kids, so they're all getting something.
Hey, there you go. Enjoy. Oh my gosh, guys, it's chaotic. Things are selling out, so get over here right now. We'll send it back to you guys.
I love that. Bobby said I have a bunch of kids, so I'm buying everything. So you can't go home empty-handed for the kids. Go. Thanks, Gian. Let's go back out live now to Sarah Plake standing by with more fan reaction.
Hey, yep, we're still at Rally House down in PNL, and it's been a steady stream of excited fans coming in here, getting all the merchandise. I'm here with one of those. His name is Ian. Hey, Ian.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
Feeling amazing. I mean, it's hard to even put into words. I'm ecstatic. Can't believe it.
Are you born and raised in KC?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Whatever. I am too, and so I feel you. So what are you here to get?
Shirt, a hat, towel, anything to commemorate this win, really.
I mean, we already have one Super Bowl win, but what is it like to have two and have like two sets of merch?
Man, I didn't even think one would even happen. Two in my lifetime, it's insane. Like, growing up, they were so bad. I'm just happy to see them good for once. 2 wins is awesome.
I know. Okay. Thank you so much, Ian.
Of course, yeah.
Have a ball. All right. And so this is what we're talking about here. This is one of the shirts. They've got 4 different shirts here, 400 different shirts here. And they're all going to sell out. So, if you want to come in tonight, make sure you get in here before it closes. But no worries. They're going to restock around 11 or 11:30 tomorrow, at least at this store here at Rally House. It's not just shirts. They've got hats. They've got koozies. They've got beanies. And it all says Super Bowl champion. So pretty cool stuff. Again, they're going to have a steady stream of merchandise tomorrow and throughout the next couple of weeks. So if you're just out partying, you're having a great time, can't make it into the Rally House, no big deal. Just know that there's going to be plenty of stuff for you to grab when you have a chance. But go Chiefs. Back to you.
And Sarah, again, you heard her say she's a native. So we know how much this means to you, Sarah, too. We know how excited you were. We were all so excited.
Yes.
Of course, we all wish we could be like Mick and Dia, actually on the field celebrating.
Exactly.
I'm only a little jealous.
I'm waiting for them to break out the champagne bottles. What is champagne at?
Well, they had that last time. They had champagne on the field, and Kevin and I went and got some. We weren't supposed to.
See.
We went and got some. Maybe it's coming. I had to run the camera for one of the interviews because Darius, our photographer, was out getting confetti.
Look, Darius has been down
station.
here for hours. I'm talking about like 8, 9, 10 hours shooting the pregame, shooting the game, shooting halftime. So, I mean, we can give him a little leeway.
Yeah, and I shot the interview. This is probably the best one we had.
We'll check the footage when we get back. Shout out to Mitch Holtis for taking the time. He was literally wheeling his suitcase so he can get out of here, and he stopped for us. So we appreciate that. Right now, guys, it's really starting to thin out. Most of the players and their families have gone back so they can celebrate and really soak up this win. But one thing that stuck with me, Travis Kelce normally is going crazy.
Yeah.
I think this one's a little bittersweet for him.
It is. We talked about it, playing against his brother, and it's almost a relief that it's over. Now, he's glad he won it, right? It's a good kind of relief, but I felt like over the 2 weeks that maybe wore on both of those guys. We have more from back in Kansas City, so we'll send it back there to Grant Stevens. What's up, Grant?
Hey, y'all, we're at the intersection of Chiefs and Party right now in downtown Kansas City. Well, 18th and Main, I suppose I should say, and it has been nuts here the entire night. After the Chiefs game was over, this street was flooded with cars, flooded with people, and it smells like a party. Burnt rubber, a little bit of stuff that's just been made legal in Missouri, and a lot of horns and cheering fans. You can see it right now. People are just walking to the streets. They're all heading downtown to Tower and Light. Some of them have told me they're coming back down to the crossroads to get their party on. But the energy here has been absolutely unbeatable. And if you think this line of cars looks long now, it has been this way the whole entire time. I hope you can hear me over all the honking and cheering and the occasional, and by occasional I mean more than occasional, burnout that we've been seeing. Take a look at this row of cars as we turn our camera now. It's even more. It's all the way down Main Street. I can't see the end of those headlights, and I can't see the end of the taillights. And a little bit of a creative driving as people maneuver here and people celebrate this win. I'll tell you the number one thing I've heard all night is just cheering and go Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. Someone told me this is Dub City. This is Win City, not Kansas City. Here comes the crowd of people on the scooters coming through. They're heading downtown, further down to Power and Light, where that seems to be where the party is at. But anyone that can't get down here, they are all down here in the Crossroads district of Kansas City. I cannot tell you, I've never seen the city like this. The burnt rubber smell, the cheering, and the joy on every single person's face out here, absolutely unmatched, unparalleled. People are telling me that the only time it's compared to this is the time we see the Chiefs parade, which we are all gearing up for on Wednesday, so we're pumped for that. I'll go ahead and send it back to you guys. So we will be here, I don't know, as late as it'll be, because this place, it's not slowing down anytime at all. Back to you guys.
And Stevens live for us at the intersection of Chiefs and Partey.
It's going to be hard to get home tonight.
Yeah, it will. So this is what it looked like in 2020,
Yes.
right? That was before that I came here, but I heard from our producer that this is a repeat of what
And
we
it
saw
was
down Main
wild.
Street.
I live right off Main Street, and
Yeah.
it took me hours to get home.
Did it
and
really?
I'm expecting the same tonight.
Yeah, all corners of the metro were rocking
So cool.
here in 2020 when this happened right here. And rightfully so. I mean, think about that first Super Bowl championship
Right.
from a few years
50
ago.
years in the
It was
making.
exactly 50 years in the making. And hey, so nice we decided to do it twice.
There you go. Such
Look
an
at
exciting time.
All right, Megan Abundance live for us. I mean, I wonder if she has her dancing shoes on still. She was trying to catch a groove earlier.
Dancing
What's
coat,
up,
dancing
sis?
shoes.
I'll come up with that. My goodness, it has been so much fun down here. Honestly, we've been standing out here for an hour, but there have been so many champagne showers. There have been fireworks. There have been crowd surfers. I mean, wow, what is there not right now? Honestly, this crowd is having a great time. They said they never lost hope, that it was a pure It's just, the amount of people down here has just increased. As they exit the bars, they come to the middle of the street. Behind us, police, KCPD, have been directing traffic to get everybody out safely. There's been no issues whatsoever. Just people having a good time, dancing in the street. All good fun down here. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Abundance. And then talk about all the storylines. Of course, we've been talking about Andy Reid against his old team, the Kelce Bowl. You know, earlier we saw Brett Veach pay that nod to Hank Stram with that suit on as they matriculated to another Super Bowl title. But he, too, is a former Eagle. He's cut from that cloth. He was a scout there. He was a coach and intern under Andy Reid. And the brother's only 45 years old.
I know.
So
This
to
thing
put
has
this
come
team
full
together at
circle.
such a young age, I mean, the work continues. And you have to wonder how many more appearances we'll make on football's biggest
Hey,
stage.
if you got Brett Veach, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes all within the same organization, it seems like the recipe for success. So hopefully in the next couple of years, I think tonight is what solidified that this is not just a fluke. This is something that can build into a dynasty, a legacy, something like we saw the Patriots do in years past.
Indeed. All right, let's go out to one of our QBs on the field right now. QB in our coverage, Mick Schaefer, with another radio personality and former Chief Dana Hughes.
We didn't give him a choice. We said you can invoice us if you want, Dana. Just Dana's data right here live, you know, after a Super Bowl. No big deal, right?
Oh, man, this is huge, bro. I mean, there's so many components to this game that we should all be proud of. Yes, we should be happy. Yes, there's elation in the locker room, and I'm sure KCP&L is going crazy and every other place around Kansas City. But when you're able to just absorb what just happened, there should be a lot of pride that we should have as a Chiefs fan base across the Chiefs kingdom, that we got smart players. You got guys that seize their opportunities, even if there's minimal opportunities to be had. All three phases of this game, we won. We played well, and we were able to bring home another championship. I mean, like, there's been games where it's like intestinal fortitude. That's what I saw. There's games where there's like, okay, resilience. That's what I saw. There's games, adversity, these guys bouncing back, dominance. This game was about their intelligence, how smart this team was, and how dedicated they were to each other. They played two different halves, roughly. And their ability to go in at halftime, an extended halftime, not feel sorry for themselves, being down 10 points, knowing that they got the ball to come out for the third quarter, that if something happened, it could catapult to something magical, and that's what we witnessed.
One of those smart plays you talk about, I know you're alluding to, Jerick McKinnon sliding at the 1 yard line. Tippy-toe, he almost got into the end zone, right? But he called it church mode. We talked to him after the game. That was his, I mean, Philly was being smart there, right? Jerick was just being a little bit smarter.
So he's much more intelligent than I would have been.
No,
less selfish. I would have high-stepped into the end zone, Mick. Did a little dance, snow angel, everything.
It's like 70 degrees, though, Dana. What are you doing?
But, yeah, I mean, that play, you're talking about Sky Morris catching his first touchdown in the NFL on the Super Bowl field.
Super Bowl.
Isaiah Pacheco, a score. Yeah. Kadarius Toney has a small package in this offense, and it works to perfection when he's on the field. The defense, a scoop and score by Nick Bolton. The rookies, I shouldn't say rookies, the first-year guys that really showed themselves as stars in this game. We've talked all year about the rookies. We forget. Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, they're second-year guys. Like, they're on the same age as some of the rookies, and yet we've assembled a host of veteran leadership, veteran playmaking abilities, and then complemented them with the rookies that contribute in this major form. These guys, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Fayetteville State. You think he dreamt of this opportunity and being a big portion of this defense? Yeah. I mean, it's just been amazing to me to watch this team grow, be counted out week after week. People picking the Eagles over them, and then them just showing up and showing out.
Mitch said the Chiefs were picked fifth in the 4-team AFC West.
I know. I remember those days. That brings me back to the 90s.
Well, speaking of the 90s, so Brett Veach said he thought the Kadarius Toney punt return was maybe the play of the game, or when things swung fully in the Chiefs' momentum. I was walking down through the tunnel at that point in the fourth quarter. Everybody was saying it's like a young Daniel Hughes out there returning that thing, spinning, dancing along the sideline. But, I mean, you're a special teams guy. I know you talked about all three phases. How big of a play was that?
So the only aspect of that play that looked like Daniel Hughes is when he got tired at the end.
At the end,
because that would have been me the entire run. But, I mean, all three phases, when you're playing Pop Warner football, high school football, maybe some small college football, you have the guys that don't play, the no-name guys that play on special teams. They consider that like the ugly stepbrother. Yeah. But in the NFL, all three phases have an equal impact.
Yeah.
And I speak to Dave Tobe every single week, do pregame interviews with them, and we talk about how the third phase of the game has to be just as important as the first phase of the game. And they show that. And think about the dynamic, Mick, of assembling a special teams unit. These are all stars from their colleges.
Yeah.
And now you're telling them, you know what? You may not play a lot on offense. You may not get any reps on defense, but we need you to buy.
A lot of times they're inactive, right? They're on that line.
Yep.
You're coming to the Super Bowl. We can't promise you play.
Yep, and that's how I made my career, 6 years in the NFL, buying into coaches coaching me up to do something that's not necessarily the most comfortable, not necessarily what I'd like. I'd like to be catching balls in the end zone and doing snow angels, but I have to be relegated to special teams, and I have to adapt into it full-heartedly. And I think that's where coaching, this game was about coaching, man. We out-coached them, and you can tell the maturity of our players on our sideline in every tough circumstance. They bounced right back and made plays.
I got one more for you, and we'll let you go. We brought over Orlando Brown first tonight, and we said, hey, you want to come talk with us? He goes, no sacks. That's the first thing he said, no sacks.
Yes.
And I feel like he said that a lot. I feel like that was drilled into him all week long. They didn't give up a sack. That was supposed to be a big mismatch for the Chiefs, those tackles against those ends.
Well, no sacks. We got a sack. Colin Saunders knocked out Jalen Watson.
Mitch kept talking about that play, and it was a sneaky big play.
Yep.
He didn't let him catch the corner.
Yep.
He lost a yard. Because if he doesn't sweep that leg out, he catches the corner, he might run for a first down.
Well, how about this? We go through an entire season 14-3, and we're -5 in the giveaway takeaway. We come to the playoffs, we win giveaway takeaway against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
We win giveaway takeaway against the Bengals. We win giveaway takeaway against the Eagles. 3 times where this team kind of manifests itself in the postseason in a special way that they did not accomplish in the regular season, to me is amazing.
What finger are you getting this ring size for? Are we doing pinky? What are we doing, index?
I don't know.
Middle?
I'm from Jersey, so maybe a pinky ring. You know they wear pinky rings in Jersey.
Finger. He said I'm from Jersey. I thought you were going to say another one. Let's send it back to you guys before it gets R-rated here with some David.
Please
forget about it.
Daniel Hughes, back in his day, his playing day, he was as graceful as a gazelle. Now we just extend grace to him. Hey, man.
Appreciate it.
41. My man, 100 grand.
Let me pop my collar, Kevin.
Oh, my God.
Hey, thank you, guys. We certainly appreciate you both.
Wow,
I see you.
still popping.
All in the camera, all in the video.
Oh,
you know why? Because the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions, and folks are celebrating from the Power Light District to Westport and all the corners of the kingdom. Grant Stevens standing by live for us. Grant, I know you're down there on Main Street. Now, I just saw a tweet about 15 minutes from the streetcar saying, hey, give us some patience. We're going to remain in service until we get all the Chiefs Kingdom to where they need to go downtown tonight. Let me ask you this. One, how slow is traffic moving? Two, have you even seen the streetcar, my brother?
Very slow for number one. And two, I have seen one go by, and I saw it for about 15 minutes. It was barely moving. Those 4 streetcars are trying to get through this crowd, but they're locked into the track. The funny thing is the cars are going all this way. They are everywhere all over this road. We're hearing now the sight and the sound of Chiefs Kingdom after the biggest victory the NFL has to offer. People hanging out of cars. They've got their phone cameras rolling. They've got blowing on the horn. And we got 1 or 2 occasional burnouts, like the one right there that you might be able to hear. The streetcar is right on this road, but traffic is clogged. So if you're planning on coming down to Kansas City, I got a piece of advice for you. Good luck. It is busy as it can possibly be down here. The only time you've seen it busier than this is when there's a parade, something like that. The streetcars and the traffic is slowly moving. This is on Main Street right now. This is one of the busier streets in Kansas City. We're at 18th, so right in the crossroads area. All over the place, though, there is crazy traffic like this, both going down to Power and Light and coming back down to the crossroads. As you can hear, there has not been a single moment that I've been down here that I have been free from wild fans and honking cars. It's really, really amazing down here. And the energy would not be better. It couldn't be more exciting for us down here. This is Chiefs Kingdom. People are saying that this is the thing that brings this city together. The Kansas City Chiefs. Like I'm saying, you don't see this city like this any other time than for a Chiefs victory. And lucky for us, we've had several of those. I talked to a fan earlier and said, we're rolling it back, baby. We're going to go again next year, and we'll see the party again next year, too. Chiefs family is confident. Chiefs family is really feeling it tonight. So I'm looking down at the camera. You can see cars are kind of they're doing some creative driving, weaving in and out. So if you're coming down here, be safe. Maybe stay on the sidewalk if you're planning on coming down. And same advice goes for cars. Drive safe out here, guys. And if you're heading down to Kansas City, trying to party it up, couldn't be a better place, but you might have to wait a little bit in traffic. We'll probably be stuck down here for a while, too. So we'll be down here pretty much all night. We'll send it back to you.
I like how Grant calls it creative driving down there, if you will.
Way to say it.
Appreciate you, my brother.
All right, well, I think we're going to head back to Gian Kim now, who's standing by. And while Gian's talking, if we can see that puppy in that Chiefs shirt again. I don't know who had the puppy, but that was adorable. So I am here for some more puppies in Chiefs shirts.
We have adopted the name Patrick.
That was
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Okay, you said puppies. And I was like, where is the puppy? So I got distracted there for a moment. But let me tell you, I'm in my element. Okay, I'm shopping on company time, so I can't complain. I mean, take a look at this. The fans are coming in groups, okay? They're letting people in a few at a time because it's just packed in here. People are getting a first look at the championship gear. They've got hats here. The popular T-shirts that are being handed out right now. We've got some fleece down on the other end. We've got hoodies. We've got flags. We've got hats. I mean, everything you could possibly want for the parade on Wednesday, you can come here to find it. And they will stay open until everything sells out. So get off your couch, get in your car, and come here because things are selling out fast. Let me go see if I can talk to a customer here. This guy, he's been eyeing this. Excuse me, sir. Hi.
How's it going?
How are you? What are we shopping for right now?
Some new Chiefs gear.
What's caught your eyes?
The hoodies, for sure.
Can you show it to the viewers?
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs. Check this out. Oh, my gosh. Sir, talk to us a little bit about the atmosphere right now.
It's crazy. It's fantastic.
How long did you wait in line for to get in?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, so things are moving quickly.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yep.
Okay, I got to get your take on the game today. Where were you and what was going through your mind?
I was out at a buddy's house, and just unbelievable that it happened. So it was a great comeback. Comeback Kings, so here we go.
Awesome. Are you going to be at the parade on Wednesday?
Yes.
You can?
No, because my son's daycare is closed, so I got to watch my son.
Oh my gosh, you should take your son with you.
I went to the last one.
I hope you can make it. Thank you so much.
No problem, thank you.
Guys, things are going off the shelves fast, so make your way over here. They have multiple locations open. This is Academy Sports and Outdoors in Overland Park. Make sure to check out their website. All of their locations that are open right now for business is on there. Back to you guys.
Swag flying off the racks, Gian. If you can give me a 2XL, I've been asking everybody. I need my championship gear so I can see and show it on Wednesday when we're out at Union Station for the parade. We heard from so many of the players, so many of the radio personnel, so many people that make Chiefs Kingdom what it is. We even heard from 15, the Super Bowl MVP himself today. And one of the things he talked about that really stood out to me as we see the celebration that's still underway in the Power and Light District, he talked about the instant success as a starter. Year one, AFC title game. Year two, as a starter, the Super Bowl. Then he talked about the
failures.
pitfalls, the failures, exactly. The very next year, getting blown out in the Super Bowl to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The year after that, they thought they had a team that was going to go to L.A. in the Super Bowl, yet they fall to the Bengals. So this one makes it all the sweeter, he said. And that was really powerful from someone who's just 27 years old.
Yeah, you forget how young he is.
Oh, and they always call him the old guy.
I know, which,
just
don't get me
because
started.
Hurts is 24, but it's incredible. We were talking about it earlier, what he's been able to do, the adversity he's been able to overcome, and how he's been able to set himself back on this big stage. He is the only quarterback in NFL history to have 2 Super Bowl MVPs and 2 regular season MVPs. People do not understand, and I think here in Kansas City, everyone's starting to really get it.
Yeah.
And now the league has to recognize how special of a talent Patrick Mahomes is.
You know, Haley, you arrived here in Kansas City as a part of the 41 team about week 2 or 3 into the campaign
Right, the
when they
2019
won that
season.
Super Bowl.
Good luck charm, is that
That's
what we're
right.
saying?
That's right. So how does this differ for you just some years later as you've seen the peaks and valleys?
Right, and I think when I came in the beginning, it was Mahomes magic. It wasn't taking the checkdowns quite yet. It was this very young quarterback who was so sparkly and flashy that defenses hadn't learned how to stop him. Then all of a sudden we see the O-line fall apart and him running for his life in Super Bowl 55, and it was the turning point for this team. It was really, if Patrick Mahomes is going to be exceptional, is it just a fluke or is it something he can continue? To see someone be able to design what he has, take the maturity in his game, which we have all seen, and do it with 3 to 4 completely different rosters.
Yeah.
That's what people lose sight about. Look at Super Bowl 54 as compared to this roster. Night and day, you got about 5 or 6 of them who are actually on the same roster.
Look at the fireworks right now, right over Union Station. The beauty it is that we just saw. That place, which is, as we've been saying pretty much all week, all month, is on the clock now. The 31st pick in the NFL draft now belongs to Kansas City, who will host this draft. This is incredible. This is an incredible moment that we are all living in here in Kansas City, here as part of Chiefs Kingdom. Caitlin, what stands out most to you?
I think for me, it was the reaction from the players that our team got. You know, there's something kind of special. You can watch this stuff and you can see national correspondents. They don't follow them day to day like our local crews do, right? And so to see Mick and Dia talking to Kelce and talking to Frank Clark and hearing them say what this meant to them. And like what Haley was saying, the fact that, again, this showed it wasn't a fluke. This showed that they are building something really, really special. And then to hear that pride, you know, I mean, this isn't a paycheck for them. You can tell that this was a moment that they are soaking it in. And I mean, there's something to, we put them on this pedestal, you know, and they're these incredible players, but they're human beings who are also enjoying this. I know.
They're like 22. It's insane to realize how young they are. Kelce said it himself too. Winning Super Bowl #2 was more important than winning Super Bowl #1.
Because one may seem like a fluke, although some people never make it that far. But to have 2 really solidifies your standing when it comes to being on the precipice of a dynasty.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're building something special here in Kansas City. And our crews are out there celebrating with you. That includes Abby Dodge. Again, another local face here on our station who's probably just as excited as the fans that she's been talking to all night. Abby?
Yes, of course. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And there are people who didn't have tickets to this Power and Light watch party tonight who are also just as excited as me. They decided, hey, you know what? We're just going to go down there and see what happens. And there are a couple of little breaks in the armor around Power and Light. People are able to sneak their way in and kind of wait out and see what's happening inside. Security's doing a pretty good job of keeping everyone outside of actually the inner part of Power and Light. But I talked to a couple out here earlier that said, you know what, we lived close enough. Whenever we knew that that ball was going through those uprights, we rushed down here and we just wanted to be a part of this. Like what I was talked about earlier when we first went on the air at 5 o'clock tonight, I said this is the epitome of the camaraderie and just the city here in Kansas City. Being down here with each other is what everyone wants to be doing. There are people watching right now from their balconies and from inside of their apartments at 1 Light and 2 Light down here near the Power and Light district. So Caitlin and Kevin, if you guys are looking for, you know, something to do after work tonight, I'm sure these people are still going to be out here. They were out here at 6 a.m. this morning. They might make it a full 24 hours.
Let me tell you something, Gian Kim, I ain't no spring chicken no more. I am north of 40. So once I leave these parts right here, I'll be getting my swag during the daylight.
I'm with Kevin, Abby. I've got to say, I've got to get my kids up for school tomorrow, and they stayed up late watching. I think they were celebrating with Dad at home, so I think everyone's going to be a little tired tomorrow. But
exactly.
It's
And we have to work upon the face tomorrow for the people as we celebrate this championship. And you see folks are celebrating in full force right now. It appears to be the Westport area. Yep, that's Westport right there, kind of near Mill Road. You see Jerusalem Cafe in the background. You see the cookie spot, Insomnia Cookies. So for Kelly's Westport is actually to the right of our TV screen right now as folks are celebrating. Westport is traditionally shut down for the most part. Yeah, and it's going to be like that for quite some time.
Wild.
You know, it's crazy. I got here in 2016. I got here before Patrick Mahomes. I got here when the team was pretty good, just couldn't get over that hump. In fact, the very first game I attended as a fan here as a Kansas Cityan was that playoff loss to Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh kicked 5 straight field goals, and they won without even getting the ball across the goal line. And when I left the stadium with the rest of Chiefs Kingdom, the dejection, you couldn't even describe the dejection.
Disappointment.
I mean, it was such disappointment because for year after year after year, we had high hopes that we would get over that hump, and we just couldn't do it. Fast forward a year later, or 2 years later, number 15 comes, and he's given the keys to the kingdom, and he gets us to 5 straight AFC titles.
Yeah, and it's not just his physical prowess, it's not just his skills, but you heard the players talk about what a reassurance he is and how he motivates them, you know. What a special player. Hey, we can see that it's busy here in Chiefs Kingdom in the Metro, but what about on the field? Let's go out now we have both Mick Schaefer and Aaron Ladd standing side by side. Are people still out there? Are people still partying on the field?
We pulled him out of the locker room. He smells like champagne.
Cigar smoke.
I think he thought he was a player for a while, but he's out here. What was the locker room like?
Vibrations were high, to say the least. It was a very exciting mood, obviously. Patrick Mahomes coming in, dapping up all the guys, saying, I love you, man. I mean, a culmination of just a year's worth of work, adversity, coming back from deficits, obviously, in this game. They were just a release of a bunch of emotions, and guys extremely excited.
What guy or maybe soundbite resonated the most with you in there?
And you know Nick Bolton's not a talker.
No.
Like, when he first came in the league, he was at Mizzou.
He should be allowed to say whatever he wants tonight.
Tonight, he's got the champagne bottle. Maybe that loosened him up a little bit. I'd never seen Nick Bolton act like that, but for good reason. I mean, he scores the touchdown, almost had a second one, as we talked about before, had some key plays.
Big plays.
In that first half to kind of make sure that the lead stayed in 10, right? Like, Philly's driving, and it looked like they were going to get 7, and then Bolton comes up with 2 key tackles to force the field goal there, things that don't show up in the stat sheet. But I know Mahomes was the MVP, obviously, of this one, but Nick Bolton can't say enough about what he did.
I thought he was a close second. I thought maybe they could give it to him because Mahomes, he had 3 touchdown passes tonight, and look, he's Mahomes and everything, but less than 200 yards passing, and Bolton, 9 tackles, 8 were solo, and that's big. This team has gotten so much better in the tackling department, especially in the open field, and he was thumping tonight.
180 tackles in the regular season. Set the single-season record for any Chiefs player of all time. he's a big part of this championship. We talked to Jerick McKinnon, who's a journeyman guy, a guy who's bounced around. He talked about this being his 9th year in the league and finally breaking through. Offensive Player of the Year for Offensive Player of the Month for December and January. The guys were hyped.
His family had to move houses and change schools in middle school because the coach wasn't playing him on the football team. Just have an opportunity to play.
Wow.
And now here he is, one of the stars on a Dynasty, right? In the NFL, I mean, you win 2 titles in 4 years. I know we've seen the Patriots, but we've seen nothing else close to them. This is as close as you get to a dynasty in the NFL.
Chris Jones asked exactly that on the post-game podium, said, well, what do you guys think? You know, I don't want to put it out there yet. We'll let you guys talk about it. I think it's pretty obvious now. The Chiefs, I mean, 5 straight AFC title games. The list goes on and on. This Lombardi, the fingerprints are still fresh on it, but it definitely feels like a dynasty.
Arrow's going up, too. I mean, the quarterback is 27 years old. And speaking of the quarterback, we've got a lot of reaction here from the Chiefs. We'll start it off with Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, it felt great until I kind of rolled it a little bit. I thought I felt really good, and then that happened, and I had a lot of soreness going through into halftime, and was able to move it around and kind of get taped up a little bit and go out there in that second half. And it didn't feel good, but I was going to leave it all out there, and I'm glad it was enough for the win. I was proud because I talked a little bit, but it was everybody. It wasn't like I was the only person talking in that locker room. And we just challenged each other, man, to leave everything out there. And I don't want to say we played tight in the first half, but you didn't see that same joy that we play with. And I wanted guys to just know that everything we worked for is for this moment. You have to enjoy this moment. You can't let the moment overtake you. I thought the guys did that in the second half, and they fought to the very end. That's all you can ask is guys leave everything they have on the football field. There's a lot more critics than there was in the previous years I had been here. And I told them at the beginning of the year, I said, as long as Andy Reid's coaching, we're going to have success as an offense, and I trust in the leaders that we have on that defense. And so to go from a team that wasn't, I wouldn't even say majority picked to win the AFC West to win the Super Bowl, that speaks to the guys that we have in that locker room.
At halftime and came out with a different mentality and a lot of confidence.
Travis, what did you say to your brother in the hug with the confetti?
There's nothing you can really say to a loved one in a situation like that. You joke around all the time and say that you want to be your brother in the biggest stage ever, but it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, and that team had great leadership, great coaches. Obviously, it came down to the end, and we got all the respect in the world for those Eagles, man. But there's nothing really I could say to him other than I love him, and he played a hell of a year.
Be us, but be us a little bit better. We left a couple plays out there we could have made, and end up in explosive plays or touchdowns. So we just had to come back, tackle a little bit better, and also just bat a couple balls down, contest a couple more catches, and that kind of going to lead us into a win. And so that's kind of the mindset was for us, and we were able to execute that in the second half.
We was able to eat a few chicken strips, relax. Everybody was able to take it in, take a deep breath, meditate. You know, we got a lot of young guys on this team, a lot of first-time starters in this league, and I still get jitters going out, just being in the excitement. But those guys, I can only imagine how much they had going through their minds. So I think the halftime played perfectly and letting us come back together, bring the brotherhood back together, and being able to prepare for the second half.
Oh man, tears just started falling as soon as we got that victory. As soon as Booker hit the kick and the field goal, tears just came down. It's just a wonderful feeling that I can't explain.
Pacheco, big plays. Sky Moore, big play. These guys, my hat goes off to them. That's a tough thing to do in this league, man. These are the best players in the world right here, and I felt like these were the 2 best teams. I mean, my hat goes off to Philadelphia, Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman for what they've done with that program, and their head coach is a legit guy. He's great for the National Football League, man. He brings great energy, and here he is. He's a young guy, and he's in the Super Bowl after his second year, man. It's a tremendous compliment for him and the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, and Aaron, the Eagles are so good. There was talk of, the schedule they played. No, this was probably the best team the Chiefs played all year long, and Jalen Hurts is a star.
Showed up in the biggest moments, made plays with his legs, obviously had that one big mistake that Nick Bolton capitalized on. But outside of that, I mean, he's extending the play. I thought this game decided on third down for a lot of times.
Yeah.
Chiefs just couldn't find a way to get Philly off the field on third down.
And fourth down, too.
And Jalen Hurts continues to make plays. We're talking our best 3 plays, or if we're picking 3 plays to kind of highlight from this one.
Yeah, what are they for you?
Nick Bolton play, obviously. It changes the tide. Momentum starts moving. And then it's the 2 kind of mirror plays in the end zone. Sky Moore gets one on kind of the fake in and then cut out. And Kadarius Toney does the same one. They talk about it, kind of practicing that, leading up and having that play and having the momentum. All you need is space in Andy Reid's offense. You know that. Get him an inch of space, and those 2 guys in space, incredibly impressive. But the rookies. And
all over the place.
And Kadarius Toney is a guy who came in halfway through the year.
Well, and guys like Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, they're just second-year guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Dane was talking about that. We think of some of these guys as grizzled veterans. They were in like the 2021 draft, right?
Man, impressive. On the biggest stage, too. And down 10, we're talking in the press box at halftime, like, Mahomes has 9 completions. Yeah. It doesn't look like they're behind the chains. They can't get a first down. And then the third quarter happens.
The third quarter happens, and look, the Kadarius Toney punt return was huge.
Huge, yeah.
Really big, obviously. I love the Jerick McKinnon stop, almost going to the goal line right there. The church mode play at the end, and I love Mitch Holtis. He came on. He talked about Colin Saunders not letting Hurts get to the corner.
Yeah,
and it counted as a sack.
1 yard loss.
1 yard loss. But there's a lot of green in front of him. And we talked with Colin opening night. He's a guy that really belies his size. You don't realize how athletic he is and how fast he is. And that was a D lineman, 320-pound D lineman getting the angle on Jalen Hurts.
Used to be a running back in high school. Highlighted that. Right? We talked in the locker room, said, hey, I remember y'all picking Cincy last week. Yep. I heard a lot of the chat about Jalen Hurts. Hope you remember his second title with Kansas City.
There's a play that they'll be talking about in Philly. The defensive hold there that was huge for Kansas City. Gave him a first down, which allowed them to clear out the clock.
And we give Andy Reid such a hard time about clock management.
Was perfect.
That was the knock on him.
Well, from Philly. And they're like, oh, he's learned. He's learned now.
And here to close out another Lombardi trophy in the desert. The time management's perfect.
Awesome. Good stuff, Aaron. More from you, I'm sure, later on. But we'll kick it back to KC and Gian Kim. Hey, Gian.
% right now. Actually, really close. How do you even? Hey guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I thought we were at a party, but it didn't start until this family walked in. Okay? Meet the Deerdorfs. Okay? You guys, just walk me through tonight, okay?
So fun. I'm a college student at UNL, and so I came back to celebrate with my family.
Yeah. Neighborhood party. It was like 40 people in the basement.
Yeah.
Cheering
And then
together. It was perfect.
All the fireworks went off after. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, talk to me about the mindset of we got to go get gear.
Oh, absolutely. You can't celebrate if you don't have the new gear, right? You gotta have it. We gotta show up to school fresh with the gear.
We got home from the party. She said, "Can we go to Academy?" So we came and here we are. We're at Academy.
We put on Rihanna on the way, of course, after the halftime show, and here we are.
We're rocking out to Rihanna on the way over here.
Banging on the roof.
And Red Kingdom. Absolutely. Okay, what do we think of the new design? Be honest.
Dad, go ahead.
That's great. That's absolutely. Hey, you know what, guys? How about them Chiefs?
Okay, this lady over here was telling me that if we get 40% of the student body to agree to cancel school tomorrow, we can do it. She says that her school is at 30% right now. Sis, what are we doing?
We're canceling. We got it. Come on, guys. 40%. Call yourselves out. You're sick. It's okay. You're snow sick for Red Kingdom Day. You can do it.
I vote that too. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. I love them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang out with them, but we'll send it back to you guys.
Go Chiefs.
I think there might be a lot of call-ins tomorrow morning for a lot of places of employment.
Yeah.
Work productivity this week.
Not us, because
it's not going to be high.
we will be here. But right now we have Grant Stevens who's standing by, so some people are going to get home really late because they're stuck in this. Grant, is traffic moving at all?
Yes, it is. You know, it has changed quite a bit here in the last couple of minutes. It's actually starting to move. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but trust me, it is moving way faster than it was earlier. There is still a line of cars as far as the eye can see, and there are still people out here. Funny little moment that I just saw. A crowd of people walked up to a car, and then a guy got out of the car, handed him beers, and then they all drove off and ran off. Just strangers. I'm not sure we would condone that, but that's the energy down here. It's a little bit uncontrolled, a little bit wild, but That's kind of the fun of a Chiefs victory. Seeing all of the joy on people's faces, people leaning out of the cars, people on the roof, in the back of pickups. And there's a lot of people down here still. But the traffic is moving. There's actually people starting to go through. And I mentioned the creative driving people were doing here. It's slowed down quite a bit as the traffic is sped up just a little bit. Crowds are starting to walk back from Power and Light, maybe heading home for the night, maybe going down to the crossroads to continue their night. But it certainly slowed down just a little bit here. But like I said earlier, if you were planning on coming down here and celebrating, go ahead. But be warned, there's going to be a lot of traffic here, at least on 18th and Main where we're seeing. And as far as I can see south on Main and as far as I can see north, as you're looking right now, traffic is packed. People are still overjoyed. I don't know when this party's going to end, but it sure won't be anytime soon. Back to you guys.
Thank you, my brother. Make sure you play it safe. It won't end anytime soon when you look at all that traffic they got going right there.
Ah, indeed. Well, you know, we're having fun watching all the fans, but it's been fun just even us talking amongst ourselves about the game. We want to kind of listen to some of Mitch Holtis' calls throughout the game. So let's go ahead and just listen in and relive those moments.
They hand it off, left guard, it goes, touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco blasting in behind the block of Joe Tooney. They're going to throw a quick pass to Tony. He's got it on the edge. He will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A pass left side, wide open, Sky Moore, touchdown, Kansas City on a pivot route, and Kansas City has a chance now to get up by 8 points. Left side at the 10, angling to the 5, and he's going to slide down at the 1. Very smart inbounds. He did not go into the end zone. 11 seconds left in Super Bowl 57, 35-35 tie. The kick is good, and Kansas City leads 38-35. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again. For the second time in 4 seasons, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection.
I love that last picture we saw there. It looked like he was crying. It looked like Mahomes was crying as he was talking with Kelce there.
Yeah, last week Travis said he had 2 brothers playing in this game.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you definitely feel the bond between 15 and 87 as well. Hey, breaking news. Breaking news. We just learned via social media, the Twitterverse, that QB2, Chad Henne, is calling it a career.
Oh, really?
He is retired.
Oh, it's official. Hey, he came through, though. He came through when we needed him,
He's been here for every single starting year for Patrick Mahomes. So 5 years now. He's been at all 5 AFC championship games, now 3 Super Bowls. I mean, if the man's doing good, I'd call it quits, too, at this time. It's a great time to cap it off on a high note.
And we love those Henne-given Sunday
There you go. We'll never forget him.
Yeah, and we'll never forget this right here. This site, Power and Light, still rocking as we approach 11:30 at night, well after the game, well after folks arrived there more than 12 hours ago. And that's also where we find Abby Dodge, who was there with Chiefs Kingdom rocking. Abby.
Y'all, I think that there are more people here out on the street than the last time that I talked to you. People just keep showing up, and as these food trucks and different vendors are starting to make their way out, more people are making their way in. Just tells you how excited Chiefs Kingdom is right now to be experiencing this yet again, and so close together. Can we talk about that? These Super Bowl appearances that we've been having are, almost unknown in this sort of universe of being a Kansas City fan. I was born and raised here in Kansas City. Can't tell you a time that would be a better time to grow up in Kansas City. Most of the people that were down here earlier, all 21 and over at Power and Light, but I've seen a couple of families down here, taking pictures, walking along the streets, just wanting to feel that excitement that is oozing out of the center of Power and Light. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of a rush of people over here to get into Power of Light. The that just happened. I'm going to have my photographer Jack kind of move over this way. There might have been a little breach in the barricade over there, and people are all going in to join each other, dance to the music. You know, we started off with the We Are the Champions earlier today, then we moved on to Sweet Caroline, then there was some like Nicki Minaj and Spice Girls. So it's really a party inside there, and more people are joining. Kevin and Caitlin, back to you.
Abby, I was just telling Kevin earlier when the fans were dancing, I said, are they dancing to Spice Girls? Seems an odd choice post-football, but you know, hey, when you're in a celebratory mood, you're in a celebratory mood.
Yeah, definitely celebratory mood. They must have had a little bit of,
adult beverages?
Yeah, libations. Because that's the only way I know all those grown men jamming out to Spice Girls.
I saw some good moves out there. Megan Abundus, you know, among them.
She was
dancing with the crowd.
She was killing it.
And how fun was that when she was with one group that a young man said it was his bachelor party weekend. What better way to celebrate?
Exactly.
Than with a Super Bowl win.
Oh, it's going to be like a 4-day celebration.
And a lot of dancing, a lot of folks moving. Here's one place they are not moving right there, Main Street. In downtown Kansas City, where traffic is at a standstill as we speak. Right now, you see all the tail lights.
Do we on a day like this have like a snow day and have a list of schools that are closing on Wednesday because of the parade?
That's actually a good idea.
Should we be throwing that up right now?
I think it's coming. I think most of the districts are going to be off. Right now, though, two gentlemen who are always on and they're ready to go. Aaron Ladd, Mick Schaefer, live from the field.
Yes, indeed. Mick Schaefer and I here still got confetti at our feet. You know, State Farm Stadium. 38-35, the final. Does anybody have that tattooed on them back in Kansas City by now yet?
Maybe some bold fans out there had a feeling, and they had it tattooed on them before the game.
Also, ahead of the game, we were talking about Chad Henne, right, and him hanging it up. We're talking about his greatest, the 98-yard drive from the divisional round. And then think back to the divisional round 2 years prior against the Browns. Chad Henne, going out on top, there's not much more you can say.
Well, he was the perfect backup quarterback for all 5 of those years for Patrick Mahomes, right? A guy that kind of knew his place, a veteran guy, a good guy in the quarterback room, a guy that could, teach Patrick some stuff those early years, but a capable guy when you needed him to come in and really, make big runs, right, as well as big throws and just kind of keep everything on course for Kansas City, and he certainly did it this year. And he retires with more passing yards than Tom Brady at Michigan.
That's an important caveat that you put on there.
Yeah.
Andy Reid had some retirement talk pregame. He cleared that up postgame, where there was some chatter pregame. He says he'll be back in 2023 if the Chiefs will have them. Justin Reid, a first-year Chief this year, wins a Lombardi Trophy in his first year in Kansas City. We talked to him in the locker room postgame.
My phone blowing up. Bro, I'm going crazy right now, man. The feelings are surreal, bro. The vibes are high. Excited, so happy about this, man. Dreamed about this. Got my first one. Can't ever take it away.
What are you going to remember about this group specifically, man?
Man, this group is just so special, brother. Especially the DBs. We young, but everyone's so bought in, man. We close. This group is closer than any other group that I've ever been a part of, man. We held each other accountable. We went to each other's houses. We hung out all the time. You know what I mean? Shoot, man, the whole team, honestly, man. We had our ups and downs in the season, but through it all, man, we all got better for it. We're going to keep stacking. The most exciting part, we all young, baby. We just going to keep on stacking them up.
Tremendous personalities, tremendous athletes, tremendous players. Meshing together, these coaches, man, they did a great job of utilizing our strengths and putting it together so we all can work for a common goal. And man, it's all paid off, man. We've been through our ups and downs this year, injuries, battle tested, had some losses early in the season, still able to get through that, man. Had a whole bunch of rookies step up in their first year. That's big. I don't know no other team that got that many rookies showing up every Sunday. And it's just a blessing to be a part of this, man. It's a blessing to soak all this in. It's my first one that I won, first one that I played in, and definitely the most memorable moment in my life thus far. So I'm fortunate. It was great, man. It's a dream come true. And yeah, just to get drafted to this franchise, you know, it's always a possibility when you got, 1-5 out there, and it always gonna hold true.
To get in the end zone, man, especially it's your first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Special. Did you dream about that?
I dreamed about that since I was a little kid, and to see all the lights flashing and everything happen, and like as I'm on the field, it was just a dream come true.
And what's next for Eric McKinnon?
Well, first of all, I'm enjoying this victory tonight. that's all that matters.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was that at halftime? What was the big difference coming out of halftime?
The big difference was just going out and playing. And we talked about this all week long. We got to be able to maintain our composure through the highs and the lows. And we didn't help our defense. I think we only had about 20 or 21 plays in the first half. And so that's tough. We put our defense in a tough situation. We talked about the different things that we saw. It wasn't nothing that they were putting on tape. I thought Pat and Kelce did a great job of basically just rallying the troops.
What did the offensive line show you, Eric? Considering how the offensive line was in the last game, these are all new guys.
Yeah.
They didn't get a sack.
Physical and mental toughness. These guys are, what a great group of guys. We talk about keeping the guys upright every week. And especially with this crew that we just played, I thought our guys did a hell of a job of keeping them upright. But on top of that, it was the backs chipping, tight ends chipping, receivers chipping. And we wanted to make sure that we gave those guys the respect that they deserve.
Some sights and sounds there from a very emotional, very excited Chiefs locker room after claiming Super Bowl 57 here in Arizona. And you heard Eric Bieniemy kind of talk about, or asked about, what's next.
Yeah.
Who knows what's next? I think they're just kind of living in this moment. A lot of the guys talking about, hey, change is inevitable, but right now just kind of soaking in this victory.
Absolutely, and he deserves to do that for the next several days, weeks, whatever. But the questions will still come, and I mean, look, this is a two-time Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator now.
Yeah.
So whether his next job is still in Kansas City, or as an OC somewhere, or as a head coach somewhere, certainly has the resume at this point. Look, all these guys are so good. I think it's a cliche, Aaron, that people say, teams, they know how to win games. Well, usually really good teams know how to win games, but this team is really good, and they're just so good at the end of games and knowing what it takes. And when you have a weapon like Mahomes, it doesn't matter if you're down by 10 points at halftime. You just keep rowing the boat, rowing the canoe, and you get there. And this team does almost every time.
Eric Bieniemy says it every week. Just keep chopping wood. Just keep doing your job. And he gave credit to the offensive line for what they did, the running backs for what they did. Yes, it didn't look pretty at all times, and you can say that for at some points in this year too.
Yeah.
I remember coming back.
I went to overtime with the Texans.
The Indianapolis Colts game. We're sitting there trying to figure out, is this team for real? Down the end of the stretch of the year, but they come back from adversity. They come back from the 10-point deficit at halftime today, and they're Super Bowl 57 champions.
They are, and look, and I think this team knows, like, the regular season, sure, it's about winning games, but it's just positioning yourself for the playoffs. Dana Hughes brought up a great point. What were they, -5 in the regular season in turnover differentials? They're probably +5 or something like that in the playoffs. Year in, year out, they play their best football in January and February, as it turns out, 3 of the last 4 years.
You either find a way or make one, and it seems like when you have 15 back there at quarterback, as cliche as it sounds, you seem to find a way more oftentimes than not. I mean, it was ugly in the first half. I saw Tyreek Hill, former Chief, tweeting out, somebody needs to step up other than 87.
Yeah.
Juju steps up in a big way.
He had a big drive.
Kadarius Toney, the longest punt return, not only in franchise history for the Chiefs, in Super Bowl history. Sky Moore steps up. He's a rookie. Guys stepped up. They came up, and they found a way and made one.
It's great stuff. A lot more from the field, but we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you. Yeah, it really was indicative of the season. You talked about some of those games, some of those very close games. We're like, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be this close against the Texans, but those close games really built character, and that means they were really battle-tested for moments just like this.
Yeah, great way to put it, Kevin. Absolutely. So we're watching some of the folks still trying to either head away from Power and Light or go down and celebrate. Some people are bypassing the parties. They want the merchandise, and that's where we find Sarah Plake, who's inside Rally House.
Hey, we're out at Rally House and Power and Light. A steady stream of excited fans have been coming in all night, grabbing up all of that merchandise, and here it is, this bad boy. It says Champions, and it just does not get old seeing that. So they've got 400 shirts here tonight, men's and women's. They will sell out, but they're going to restock tomorrow at 11 or 11:30. So if you did not get a chance to step in here, no worries. And the merchandise is going to be coming in for 2 weeks, so you have plenty of time. Rally House knows how many Chiefs fans there are out there ready to swipe up some of these t-shirts. It's not just shirts. You see there's a flag there, there's beanies, hats, lanyards, koozies, all of these things that you can grab. And again, we're at Rally House. What a great night. I mean, 2 times, and it again just does not get old. I'm Sarah Blake, KSHB 41 News.
All right, now we're listening to number 15, moments after securing the Lombardi. Let's take a listen. Okay, there's no sound, but you can see.
He immediately goes to his quarterbacks,
Hugs
right?
and hand pounds to everybody. Exactly. Chad Henne, that first hug we saw just there. A lot of folks with the cigars, the champagne popping, the one and only Juan Thornhill. Eric Reed talking a bit about just the youth that's in that room right there. Eric Reed himself, first-year Chief, 25 years old. And, I mean, winning his first Lombardi trophy in season 1 with Kansas City.
How about Matt Nagy, by the way? You know, I mean, coming from kind of a rough run with the Bears to, you know, I mean, the job he's done with Mahomes and how he's been involved, you know, I mean, sorry, Kevin, I didn't mean to bring up the Bears. It's
The Chicago Bears.
bittersweet. But
It's a bitter point, but what you're saying is true.
Yeah. So, I mean, a celebratory mood inside the locker room.
And let's get to fans who deserve to celebrate. Take a listen, folks.
I feel amazing, immaculate, excellent, and fabulous, all rolled in between. AK Kansas City, let's go. West Side Story, let's go, baby. Let's go, Chiefs. So we are Chiefs season ticket holders. We go to tailgates all the time. We got to bring the thunder every time with the flags. Let's go. Let's go.
Dynasty, baby. Let's go. That's all I gotta say.
I told you, wait till I end the second half. Now look how up we are.
You knew it.
Whole city's going lit.
How do you feel?
I'm tired. No, let's go. This is amazing. We're a Dynasty, baby.
So 3 years ago, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I was in a hospital bed waiting to get a heart transplant over at KU. I got it 2 days later, and so here we are 3 years later, and I biked over here with my brother from Fairway to celebrate the game. I told him if I survived, I'd meet him over here, and I did.
And how do you feel? How does this moment right now?
Ecstatic. Like, we just won the Super Bowl. Like, last time we won, it was amazing, and now I'm back again. It's great. I'm super excited. Glad we won. I want to do it again next year.
What do you guys have your eyes on? What are you trying to buy here today?
Just a shirt. I want to represent KC.
Absolutely. Now that we have the bragging rights of a Super Bowl championship, we've got to get the swag, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to represent tomorrow at work?
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
And on Wednesday.
And on Wednesday.
The whole week.
Do you guys plan on being at the parade?
We'll definitely be there.
Walk us through kind of your emotional roller coaster watching the game tonight.
It was hard to watch, that's for sure, but the ending was definitely what we wanted.
Did you guys know that you guys wanted to come here right after the game?
Yeah. We were here 2 weeks ago getting the other shirt. I got it on right now.
Champion shirts right here.
Yeah.
Well, out with the old, in with the new, yes?
Yep, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
I've been waiting for this. I've been praying for this. I'm so glad it's here. I'm so glad we came to the Super Bowl in general, but to win is crazy. I'm so thankful for this moment. I'm so thankful to be here.
I feel you. So what are you here to get?
Shirt, a hat, towel, anything to commemorate this win, really.
I mean, we already have one Super Bowl win, but what is it like to have two and have like 2 sets of merch?
Man, I didn't even think one would even happen. 2 in my lifetime, it's insane. Like, growing up, they were so bad. I'm just happy to see them good for once. 2 wins, it's awesome.
So you get your AFC West championship swag. Then you got to upgrade to the AFC championship swag. Now you got to upgrade to the Super Bowl champion swag.
You can never have too much
Swagged out, right?
Exactly.
We're going to be looking good.
Exactly.
Exciting.
Speaking of swag, Jian Kim in the middle of it all, where folks are still trying to get that newest swag and gear.
Absolutely. You know what? Things have died down a little bit, so if you're debating, this is the perfect time to come down. I just ran into Rhonda and Judy here, who just got out of Power and Light. Talk to me about what that was like.
It was absolutely electric. It was fantastic. The energy level was, but it is every year. We've been doing this for several years. Yes, yes.
So
yes.
every
this
year?
isn't our first rodeo at Power and Light. We've done this a time or two. It was awesome.
You said you were sitting in traffic for 45 minutes. You just got here.
Yes. Oh yeah. There wasn't hardly honking. And, yeah. Everybody's outside. Playing football in the road. Yes. Yes. It's just celebratory, you know? Everyone's just having a blast, celebrating the win.
It was a fantastic game.
I can't believe it. It was awesome.
Well, talking about swag, I gravitated towards you guys because check out these fits. I mean, I love what's going on here. I don't know if there's a design in here better than what you're already wearing, actually. But talk to us a little bit about this. What do you guys see? Do you guys like the design? Is there one that stuck out to you? Or
well, I guess this is, I think this is what the Chiefs are wearing, so why not? I want to, join in.
Are you guys going to be repping at the parade on Wednesday? Say yes.
I have to fly back to Florida.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
And just for the game.
At least you were able to be at Power and Light.
I'm from here, so this is home.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, guys, come on down. There's still a lot of gear here that you can come and buy.
Tons of stuff.
Thank you, guys. It was nice meeting you. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Gian. Okay, well, for those fans who got their gear and they're trying to get home, they'll be stuck in this for a little while.
As you see right there.
A little bit.
And look at the streetcar moving so slowly. Oh, there you
Very
go.
slowly.
That's probably the fastest it's moved all night since they secured the Lombardi. Grant Stevens standing by for us with more. Grant.
Hey, we're coming at you from the pathway to the party here on Main Street at 18th. It's been nuts all night, but I have a bit of a miracle update. It seems for the first time all night, we haven't just seen red taillights stretching miles down, streetcars stuck in the traffic. We're actually seeing the end of the line here. Traffic cleared up south of 18th Street, pretty much as we normally find it on a busy weekend night. I mean, it is a Sunday here, but it is way better than what it was before. Earlier, even just an hour or so, it was choked up on both sides of the street. And the cars were honking, doing burnouts. People were leaning out of the windows, but now the calm after the storm. So this is good news for people like me who are going to be coming down here to come home later tonight. So very, very good news. It's still pretty busy north of here, so by Power and Light, where a lot of those folks came to, it's still packed. I can still see the taillights stretching all the way down basically to the Power and Light district. But here in the crossroads, it's more or less normal. Chiefs fans are walking back down to their cars. There's less of a rush down north, and things are closing up here. So the celebration was absolutely amazing earlier, but if you're heading home, I've actually got some good news. Looks like things are clearing up. Back to you guys.
Hey, brother.
All right, let's go back to Abby Dodge, who has been celebrating with fans in Power and Light all night long, and it looks like there are still a lot of people packed into that area, Abby.
Well, since Grant is talking about traffic, I will note that I saw some people driving on some bikes earlier, so they ditched the streetcar, said, you know what, I'm just going to ride my bike home. But I think we're at the point in the night where people are making a decision. They're like, okay, are we going to go into Power and Light and continue this party and make it last all night long, or are we going to go home? So that's kind of the decision-making process that we're witnessing right now. Some people are headed outside of Power and Light trying to go find their cars, trying to find a safe way home. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you are getting home the safest way possible. You can grab your car another time. Or people are saying, you know what? we're just going to party till Wednesday. I talked to a couple earlier inside Power and Light that said, you know what, we should have brought our tent. We should have just pitched our tent and waited here till Wednesday, because they know that those spots, those front row spots, are going to be important for us on Wednesday. But we're going to toss it back to you, Kevin and Caitlin.
All right, it's thinning out just a wee bit, but the party is still going on until the wee hours. Speaking of party, there's a lot of confetti on the field right now. That's where we find, Dia Wall and young lad Aaron Ladd.
This is the party right here. I don't know anything about the party. Hasn't even started yet because Dia Wall, we're getting ready.
We're getting ready. You know, this was such a buildup. I don't know how many times we had the conversation about, can we just kick the ball already, right? This game had been talked about, the matchup of the Kelce brothers, the history of Andy Reid with the Eagles and now the Chiefs. And so to get this game underway was really, I feel, a relief in some semblance or some sense of the word. And for it to be such a classic, Aaron, we got to sit next to each other in the press box, and it was like back and forth. I mean, going into the half, there was a totally different experience, I'm sure, out there in Chiefs Kingdom than it was even for fans in the stadium. I mean, at one point it felt like they got a little quiet.
I think this goes such a long way of washing out some of those bad tastes and bad memories from the last time the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. Specific to the offensive line, Mahomes running around for his life, leaking, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being all over him, the pass rush and all that. This time with this rebuilt offensive line, a lot of them new faces, rookies having to come in and protect the face of the league, and Patrick Mahomes, 0 sacks allowed, Dia.
Which is incredible, and especially when there were concerns, again, we've talked about it for 2 weeks, how Mahomes' ankle was going to hold up.
Absolutely.
And so to be able to see him out there, able to move, able to get the offense in a rhythm, I mean, they scored with ease.
There were some nervous moments.
There were.
I remember we sitting right next to each other and seeing Mahomes kind of hold on.
Yeah.
The guys talked about his grit, his dig deepness. I want to say that in a PG way. But they're following his lead.
Yeah.
He is the leader of this team, not only on the field, but in the locker room, in the community. He was obviously one of the nominees for Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Specifically to the offensive line, a bang-up job today.
Yeah, and we actually got a chance to talk with both Orlando Brown and Trey Smith about their performance and what this win really means for them.
Yeah, man, I mean, they're an extremely talented front. Like we always say, everyone in this league is extremely talented. Hats off to them and the organization for playing a great game today. Ultimately, we got the dub. We were able to, run the ball effectively when we needed to.
They said you ain't got to go home.
As well. At the end of the day, it was a great challenge up front, but being able to keep Pat clean and get that 0 dub sack.
And the resilience of this group, man, and the system took care of itself. We continued to fight. The floodgates opened. We showed up. 15 did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. The offensive line, man, everybody, the coaches, and we're the most prepared group in the world. Every single day, every single week, day after day, Coach Reid prepares us for these moments, man, and, I mean, it's nothing short of a blessing.
What was it like? You said the halftime, but then to protect for 15 right there.
Yep.
The heart of a champion, it looked like he was injured and he was going to be down and out, but the second half he comes out, he's firing. What do you say about that?
He's a warrior, man. He's got the heart of a warrior. He's got the resiliency of a warrior, and, I mean, we're never in doubt.
Bye. What a full circle moment for Orlando Brown. I mean, the contract issues and the snafu that he.
We got the lights back, baby.
Lights are back.
You gotta let them know what's going on. They turned down the lights. There were lots of boos. You were saying Orlando Brown.
The party ain't over, right?
Ain't over.
The party, especially I know back in Kansas City, but for Orlando Brown, a guy that came over in the trade, part of that reshaped offensive line after the Super Bowl last time around. There were some issues about who's going to show up to camp on time and this kind of thing. Mahomes having his back the whole time, saying, hey, he's my guy. He's going to help us win a championship. And he does exactly that here in Arizona.
That wasn't the story. I was in Tampa. There were a lot of concerns about the offensive line. Mahomes just never looked comfortable in that game. Yep. And again, we had some nervous moments, right, watching this one play out. But I felt like the offense was able to do what they do, get into that groove. And one of my favorite plays of the game, of course, is seeing Travis Kelce get that first touchdown in the game. Do his little celebration dance.
The stanky leg?
Talked about.
You gonna give us a little stanky?
I talked to him. No, I'm not doing it. No. I do the news, people. I do the news. I remember asking him about it. He was like, yeah, it was real stanky. I said, it was trending, so apparently.
It was very stanky indeed. It was stanky in the Chiefs' locker room.
I bet it was.
Cigar smoke, champagne being sprayed around. I don't think they're sleeping anytime soon, Dia.
Oh, no, the party is rocking. Not only here in Arizona, I'm sure they're having a blast at the team party, but I know it's rocking in Kansas City, too.
It's got to be.
Hey, Aaron, we got a quick question for you.
Oh, yeah. We got to ask you, Aaron, about, this is one of the strongest front sevens. This is Haley, by the way. We haven't talked in a while. It's good to see you through the camera there on the field. But wanted to ask you, this is an offensive line that didn't give up a sack, right? This is the strongest front seven they've probably seen all season long. How big is that for this team to get through that?
I think it's huge. Eric Bieniemy talked about that in the lead up to this game. He used a basketball reference that we've talked about multiple times. He said this game, the Eagles and the Chiefs, is going to be one in the paint. He's talking about the big uglies. Obviously, that's a basketball reference, but this was an Eagles team that had over 70 sacks on the year coming into this game. They wrecked quarterbacks. I know it was inferior opponents, and some people will say they hadn't played a guy the caliber of Patrick Mahomes yet, but his numbers were not MVP-like in the first half. They impacted the game without getting sacks, but still Kansas City found a way to keep him clean. Even the play where he does get hurt and comes up a little gimpy, he's trying to make the play. He's extending a little bit and kind of got tripped up. We saw in the second half that didn't stop him at all. He still continued to run. Shout out to the offensive line because it's a completely new group, and all of those guys have to work in cohesion, not only in the pass game, but the run game as well, and they did it. They're champions. Trey
Smith talked a lot about that. He said, as a newcomer, second season, for him, it was really important to be able to just come in. And he said exactly that. They knew this game was going to be won at the line of scrimmage. And they got physical early. I talked to Frank Clark about this tonight, and he said, it got a little heated. He said, because they're not really that team. Frank was mild. Let's just give it up for the Shark, because he was pretty mild for our post-game coverage tonight. But he was talking about the fact that the intensity was just a little bit higher this game. And there were so many storylines and so many connections. You just had this feeling that there was a lot on the line, even beyond the Lombardi Trophy. Yeah. It felt like a game where you got Sirianni and Reed, and you got Jason and Travis Kelce, and you have two great quarterbacks who put on phenomenal performances. I get the sense a little bit of relief from Kansas City. This vindicates whether you want to throw the dynasty word out there or not, but you get to 5 AFC championship games and only come up with one Super Bowl out of that. People look at you and maybe the narrative's a little bit different. This second one, it solidifies that core of Kelce, Mahomes, if you want to throw Chris Jones in there. Those guys are winners, and they've won at multiple levels and multiple times over this stretch, and the party's going to continue here in Kansas City. Let's toss it back out to y'all. We don't want them to turn off the lights again on us.
I mean, I think Aaron and Dia hit it. This was a team that came into the game or into the postseason with 78 sacks on the season. The Chiefs' offensive line coming up huge. Game winners here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. They really did their jobs and let Patrick do his thing,
They kept him safe.
Well, we want to hear from you. So we want to just take a moment, listen to the fans' reaction from tonight, because, again, we've all been in this celebrating together. Let's take a listen.
How are you?
Feeling amazing. I mean, it's hard to even put into words. I'm ecstatic. Can't believe it.
Are you born and raised in KC?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
How far along are you?
I am 9 months.
And what were your thoughts? Like, what was going through your mind coming into this day?
Please don't have this baby in the middle of the Super Bowl. I know my husband would kill me if he had to watch it on a tiny little screen in a hospital room rather than on the 80-inch at home. So I was just praying that I wouldn't have to disappoint him and I would be able to be here for the excitement tonight. I'm super excited. We won the Super Bowl!
What are your plans for the week? Are you going to the parade on Wednesday?
Definitely going to the parade. I'm calling in and all. I'm going. Yes, I'm going.
What does it feel like to be Super Bowl champions again, so close together?
I am very happy for our town. I'm super excited for the parade. It's just a unexpected and exciting experience.
You can't celebrate if you don't have the new gear, right? You gotta have it. We gotta show up to school fresh with the gear.
From the party, she said, "Can we go to Academy?" So we came and
here we are. We're at Academy.
We put on Rihanna on the way, of course, after the halftime show, and here we are.
Rocking out to Rihanna on the way over here.
banging on the roof.
Red Kingdom.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, what do we think of the new design? Be honest. Dad, go ahead.
That's great. That's absolutely. Hey, you know what, guys? How about them shoes?
That reminded me of Kevin. We were out at Union Station all week long, and Union Station was fabulous. I mean, it was just a collection of Chiefs fans. But, Kevin, you would lean over the edge, and they responded. You really got the crowd pumped
Chiefs
up.
Kingdom, stay ready. You stay ready. You don't have to get ready.
I'll tell you what. I was in San Francisco last time they won. Nothing like this.
Yeah.
There is not the community behind a team out there like we have here. It's just not the same, and this is so unique. And until you live here and live this, you don't appreciate it. Once you go away and see how it is in other cities and come back and you're like, I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. It's like, this is amazing. We're all in this together, and we all get to enjoy it together. Out there, nah.
You said it earlier, it seemed like there were more nerves going into the Super Bowl, and it was the first time in 2019, or the 2019 season going in 2020, there was nothing to lose. It was just like, hey, we're happy we're here, and then everything to lose this time, the Chiefs coming up big. I know we have Mackenzie Nelson in the newsroom to get her reaction on what she thought about this big win for the Chiefs. Mackenzie, you down there?
Hey guys, I'm here. You guys were just talking about Chiefs Kingdom and just how strong the fan base is, and the Chiefs were down 10 points at the half, and that didn't matter. Chiefs Kingdom cheering on their team, and I want to mention this is only the 4th time ever that a team has overcome a 10-point deficit in the Super Bowl. And if you remember correctly, 3 years ago in Miami, Super Bowl 54, the Chiefs were down 10 at halftime, and they ended up winning that one. So they did it again here tonight, or, well, it's not quite midnight, so still earlier tonight it happened. So I have to say, Chiefs Kingdom helping the Chiefs get this win, and they did it. Super Bowl 57 champs, guys. Back to you guys in the studio.
Hey, Mackenzie, I have to ask you really fast before we let you go, because you're from here. You're a local girl. What did it mean to you to be able not just to cover it, but to watch them win again tonight? I'm sure you were texting your mom. I know your mom's a big Chiefs fan, too.
I was texting my family. Haley and I were talking because she's also from the Kansas City area, and it just means a lot, and you try not to be emotional about it, but you can't help it. I mean, you get to watch the team that you grew up, you know, loving and watching and cheering for, and you get to report on them, and it's amazing. And to see them win too, it's just awesome. We are witnessing greatness. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league, obviously NFL MVP, Super Bowl MVP. I mean, it just doesn't get better than this. So it's great to be a Chiefs fan. Great day to be a Chiefs fan, guys.
She's got it right.
So well said, Mackenzie.
All right, so after a championship game, after championship coverage, we all hug it out sometimes, right?
Yeah, we can all breathe a little easier now, huh?
That's what 15 did.
Look at
shortly
that.
Oh, look at
after
that, with the
game,
newly
and
retired.
The clock struck 0. You see him hugging his quarterbacks, as you mentioned earlier.
Look at the smile on his face.
Shane Buechele.
Love it.
His
Who may become QB2 now that Chad Henne is retired.
He could, and we almost saw that happen this season. He did such an exceptional job in camp. We could see it happen, but those are the guys who got him here, right? The guys who are helping him study. People don't understand the role of a backup quarterback.
And hey, but they will understand the role of a parade. It is
That
to
is
party
true.
and celebrate Chiefs Kingdom.
There we go.
And that parade starts at noon. Our coverage starts at 4:30 Wednesday. Wake up with us, because we're about to have a blast as we celebrate the 3rd Lombardi Trophy in franchise history.
I got to imagine there's going to be more people this time, because it was so cold last time.
Oh, yeah, quickly, give us the inside scoop. What's the weather going to be?
Mid to upper 40s,
Ooh, nice.
partly cloudy. I mean, it's going to be great.
It's going to be easy breezy compared to
what it was in 2020, yeah.
Let me tell you.
I'm still throwing out from that.
So even busier. And remember, if you can't be there in person, we have you covered. We will be broadcasting it. We are your home of the Chiefs. So if you like what you saw tonight, we're going to have even more of that on Wednesday. We are ready to celebrate.
That's right. Exclusive vantage points, exclusive interviews, exclusive you will not find anywhere else. That'll do it for all of our coverage on this championship Super Bowl Sunday. We certainly appreciate you staying up late.